Oh, I watched one today. Undercover cop sitting surveilling a residence about an unrelated matter. Along comes a carjacker, white dude with a gun, rolls up. As soon as he pulls the door handle, the cop lights him up and kills him right there. His girlfriend, starts running up. Did you kill my baby daddy? Did you kill my baby daddy? And for a minute, the kid on the ground is still alive. He's like, what's your name? He goes, Clark. And later on, the girl goes, did you kill Clark? And I'm thinking, like, he totally killed Clark.
Clark's dead.
Clark was
but
dead.
Clark shouldn't have run up with a gun pointing it at people.
Dude, it was all right. It was funny. Here's what happened. Clark's laying on the ground dying, and he's wearing.
This is funny. Keep going. It's a great setup to your joke.
You're losing little bits of your soul, man.
He's laying there
These
dying.
Videos.
He's white. You feel better now? His name's
Clark.
It.
I don't care. I'm colorblind. I refuse.
Hey, where'd all the cameras go?
He's laying there bleeding out, and he's got the guns laying next to him. The cop's standing over. He goes, "What?" He's on his radio. A guy's trying to rob me, because some code. Get to me now. And the kid goes, I didn't try to rob you. He's wearing a ski mask, laying on the ground with a gun. And I just thought, man, you just instinctively lie. Like it's clear.
Did you see
that you did.
Where
ski mask?
There's a cop. He's pulling some guy out. He has a black hoodie on, and the guy just be like, I have to get one more thing from my car. I have to get one more. And the cop is clearly like, don't go back to your car. Don't. And he's acting like, bro, you're really making a big deal out of this. Like applying this, like, don't touch me, leave me alone, stop overreacting to everything. I wonder if cops ever fall for that. Like there must be a little social pressure for them to be like,
wasn't that the same guy who ran away and got hit by a car?
This guy, his buddy ran away. He was in a gray hoodie and sweatpants, and he had dreadlocks, and he had a gun. His buddy starts running, and the other cop chases him shortly. They managed to find him a few blocks away, and they shot him, and he's there dying. They're trying to save him after they shot him. I thought he was going to be okay because he yells out, "You hit me," which everyone correctly interpreted as the chase is done. I'm no longer resisting. You hit me. Now I'm looking for friends. And so the cops replied like you'd hope they would. They're like, all right, who's got a chest seal? It sounded like it was a kind of bandage, maybe. And they're trying to help this guy. His baby mama comes around and starts screaming and freaking out.
Helpful.
Not helpful. I thought the guy was going to be okay because he sounded okay moments after the shot. But I read the description and he died at the hospital.
They always say that when they die right there on the ground, though, because I think they need the doc at the hospital to declare them dead. Yeah. So it'll be like, remember on Succession when we as the viewer know that that one character has been dead for a very long time, but they're still doing chest compressions. Like people are getting tired of it at this point. I think that happens a lot because whenever I've watched the entire Police activity catalog. I mean, every single one of them. I went to the beginning of the uploads years ago and just let it roll. Beautiful
That's
stuff.
So much.
Dude, there's
so much. Hundreds of thousands of videos.
The bad policemen get a lot of press when they do bad stuff.
Yeah.
But the ones on, is it Police Activity?
It's both there, which I love.
Okay. I've only been exposed to good cops on that so far.
I've seen a couple of bad shoots that were just there was that one where the guy's chasing the dude. There's some domestic thing and he's running with his gun out and he's running around the corner and the dude just spooks him. Like the guy just like rounds a fucking corner and the guy that he's chasing is right there and he just goes boom and just shoots him in the chest like one round. You can tell the cop is like really upset about this. He's just like did not mean to do it. And the guy ended up dying. I can
recall a bad shoot. There was a guy in the woods with an axe or it might have been a hatchet. But you get it. And I think he was reported as threatening people with this axe hatchet thing. And the cop goes up to him and shoots him like almost right away from like 30 feet. And it's like, you kind of jumped the gun there. There really wasn't a lot of de-escalation.
You showed us that clip and the intro to it. I'm like, oh, guy in the woods with an axe. Like I'm probably going to come down on the cop side here. And then I watched it and it's like, no, the dude's like 8 layers of trees away. He's like, what are you doing? Well, dying now. like, and then kills him in the woods.
Hi, I was getting some firewood. Pop, 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 pop. Like,
No,
he's probably getting firewood, right?
No, because the cop went there and
was up to
the
no
axe
good.
wielder had been reported as threatening people.
He was in the water with a paddle. We don't know what he was up to.
So I assume that's true. But
wait for one threat or wait for the guy to start walking towards you. All you need is a guy. If a guy with an axe starts walking towards you, who's coming down on the side of the axe guy? Who?
tell him to stop once, maybe. Just, have him walk through one of your commands or let him get within 20 feet or so.
Put the axe down, sir.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the slickest things I saw a cop do recently, he's comes into a parked vehicle and they look homeless in there and like lots of sketchy shit's going on. They don't have exactly the right paperwork and I don't know nothing about no warrants, and it's getting weird. And the partner is like putting these mini stop sticks behind all the tires, like without them noticing. They look like rat traps, like this little triangle thing. And if they collapse it, it's gonna pop their tire, and it's those hollow spikes that immediately bleed them out. And sure enough, they take off 45 seconds later. You could hear it as the car is leaving. It was great.
That's pretty legit. Now, we both saw the one, I think everyone but Taylor saw that one at the strip mall, maybe?
Yeah, I haven't
Yes.
Yeah, the Texas shooting.
Mhm.
Yeah, so a
we
police
need
officer,
Brandon's expertise on this one.
yeah, it starts off with a police officer actually talking to a mother and her two children, being super friendly with them and talking about buckling up in the car and stuff. And in the distance, you hear semi-automatic gunfire, like loud. And he immediately goes into action, getting his gun and calling it in. And the family gets the fuck out of there. And then it sounded closer to him clearly than it was, because he goes on a very long jog.
He does not jump rope, this dude. He had no cardio.
And
In 100 feet, he was sucking wind.
And I hate to be that Monday morning quarterback, because this guy immediately grabs his patrol rifle, runs toward the sound of gunfire.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing the thing you want cops to do.
Absolutely.
So, you know what? I'm giving 95% kudos to this dude. Executed really well.
I agree.
The 5%, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, we just hear this dude huffing and puffing into his body cam.
I don't care that he's out of shape. I bet he's not even that out of shape. I think in that moment on a hot day, wearing all that gear, carrying a rifle in your boots, and then you start running at what's about 1/8 of a mile. Man,
You have to wear pants.
I'm not going to be that far ahead of that guy, but if he hopped in his car, he could have been there real quick. But it clearly sounded close. Like he needed to get in the action right now. And you don't want to drive up on somebody who's standing with a gun, because they're going to.
You know what would contribute to cops being in better shape is if they all had to kind of wear postal carrier style shorts.
Oh,
because
I want them up high for mobility.
Honestly, the mobility's fine, but the real thing is like a shaming tactic where it's like, oh, I'm sorry, officer butt fuck, you're 200 pounds overweight. You have to adopt by these.
I like Kyle's idea. I need to see that camel toe, Rook.
Yeah.
Moose,
tell me that moose
rabbit. Oh, I saw a crazy police video last night. They had sicked the canine on the guy, and the guy is like on his back now, canine on his leg, and he takes out a pistol and goes to put the pistol to the dog's head, but the cop has an AR-15. And I mean, when I say he's standing over him, I mean he's standing over him looking straight down, and they just light this guy up when he points the gun at the dog.
And the dog is fine. I saw this video too. He was probably going to shoot the dog. I mean, he was waving a gun around, and there was 3 cops on top of him and a dog. So somebody was getting shot no matter what. Yeah. I saw another one where this crazy guy had kidnapped his kid, I think, like a toddler, and he's holding it in the line at McDonald's, maybe. Keep in mind, there's cars there trying to get their food. Okay, they're having to deal with this, and you won't put the kid down, so they tase him, grab the kid real quick, pretty smoothly. Kid doesn't fall or anything, and then the guy still won't give up. So they've got 2 guys on top of him, and he won't give him his hands. He's got him locked or something. He won't put him on his back. So they let the dog start chomping on him. And I think they quickly realize, oh my God, no, get the dog off. Because the dog bites the guy in the calf, and blood just starts pouring after 2 little bites from that Belgian Mal. It just shredded this motherfucker.
I'm sure. Police dogs are scary.
Yeah, the Police Activity channel is just.
You love
endless. That channel.
So I've never seen it.
So
I'm
good.
Curious about it.
It's so good. Hours of entertainment. I'll say this. It makes it harder to judge cops who you see being assholes, And at the same time, a lot of the times the videos on there are cops being assholes. It's like, oh, they got him. And at the end, they'll be like, Officer Morris is on permanent suspension and charges are pending. And it's like, oh, okay, good. But then some of them, it's like, that cop just saved like everybody. That guy was going to kill them all. Like and then there'll be a cop who like, he pulls a speeder over and she's got the baby and she's like, the baby's dying. And the cop saves the baby on the hood of the car, like right there in front of you. Good stuff.
The dog, the cop saves the baby.
Yeah, he like CPRs the baby back to life. Or maybe it had something in his throat. It like saves the baby.
Good for him. They should. If they're trying to change perception, they need more of those videos.
I would. I think they need better uniforms. I think that we've got.
That's such a good point.
I think.
What would their uniforms look like?
All right. So right now, here's the thing.
Put them in like shorts, like a little less threating.
Oh, I saw
the Reno 911.
Have you seen the Halloween costume? Zach
Lieutenant Dangle. Yeah, yeah, exactly like Woody in his Halloween costume. Like Woody's fit enough that he shows he's serious, but he also wearing short shorts, so he likes to hang out and play. The duality of man, all in one outfit.
Oh, you shut the fuck up.
I can't find Google Image isn't coming up with it.
Oh, Zach may have found it. Yeah,
there we go.
That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, Woody's thighs filled those out much more impressively than this loser's. I'm so
confused why you neither found a picture of Woody in the costume nor the character who wore it himself for many years.
Honestly, though,
you found a third party wearing a costume.
Look at the boots. I love that.
The boots are
the boots are pretty great.
The boots are pretty nice. I mean, what would your idea for new cop uniforms be? I think shorts would make things seem a little lighter.
No way. See, I was going more hardcore. I was going like Judge Dredd with it. I want helmets.
Oh, I was thinking making them like friendlier.
No, you got to go the other way.
Oh, I don't think people are going to like that.
Because I feel
like cops are power tripping enough. Like if they're showing up in helmets and shit, I can't even imagine.
Oh, I was just thinking.
How about all cops have to wear assless chaps? That'll weed out a lot of people who don't want to be laughed at as silly. And really
I think that when you see it,
and it'll make sure they're fit.
I think this will strike, terror into the hearts of would-be criminals when they see like a bunch of Judge Dredds walking around. Just give them some of those cool motorcycles too. Why not? Like the whole thing, make them frown.
True.
Maybe we should if they brought back like public executions just for like serial killers, just to put the fear of God in people. You think that would help?
I don't think so. I think that I don't think so, because everybody knows that you die if you do that stuff. Like most of the time, anyway. Like there's a lot of those like school shooters and stuff. They're going in there to die, right? I don't think public executions are going to solve anything. I sent you guys the video of that police shooting, and if you haven't seen it, let me lay out like the beginning of it, because nobody's seen the beginning of it. I mean, people have, but what everybody has seen is the middle of it. So basically, female cop, male cop, arresting some guy for some such and such. Not a big deal. Taking him from his house or his girlfriend's house. None of that really is relevant. But he's in the back of the police SUV. The bad guy, we'll call him. But not a bad guy.
Jail cell.
Yeah, he's going to jail. He stole something. He did something wrong, whatever. Female cop is still talking to witnesses, friends, family, whatever, over by the house. Male cop walks past the car, and he's milling around back there. An acorn falls from a tree onto a nearby vehicle and we've all heard it, donk.
Yeah, it goes bang, 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 bang.
Die, Whitey! Die, pig! You know what acorns sound like. And so the cop literally starts running and gunning like it's the end of a Call of Duty fucking campaign. He's screaming. By the way, he's dumping his magazine into the car, and he's screaming for his partner to do the same. And he's like, "I'm hit." He's crawling now. He's got fake gunshot wounds himself. He's crawling like he's doing that thing where you've got your pistol, but you're using it to like crawl along the ground, and he's just dumped all of his bullets into it, and he's begun to reload. He's trying to get away. And lady cop, to her credit, didn't do anything wrong, because if my partner screams, "I'm hit," and I say, "Where's it coming from?" as he lights up our car, and he says, "In the car," I'm giving that car all I got, because Bob said so. Bob's on the ground, says he's shot. He's crawling in the street, by the way. He's shot. I thought he was paralyzed. I was like, oh, what happened to Bob? No, but meanwhile, this guy who probably didn't pay some child support or like stole some spray paint or some shit is in the back of the car, bullets coming from both sides. Must have been 40 fucking rounds through that car because asshole back here's reloading, gonna give him some more. I don't know at what point they realized that no one had shot at them. Like new cops come and they're like, what's going on? And the guy's like,
we're all just putting our bullets in this car.
He's so,
you want in?
Yeah, we're all
This
trying to
cop-
find the guy who did this. Like
this
that meme.
cop would have been less embarrassing if he'd shit himself on stage shaking the president's hand. He is
You know
being
what happened to the victim?
everybody who makes videos is making a video about the humiliating Florida cop who got scared of a squirrel and like blew away a cruiser. It's embarrassing. He's done.
I would hope
And he
so.
needs
You
to
can't
be
have
done.
you can have a trigger finger
he
like
doesn't
that.
have the temperament for that at all.
Oh my God, no. That's
Jesse Hernandez. By the way, Hernandez, I think, is the Patriots guy I was thinking of. I'm not positive.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hernandez was the Patriots guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hernandez.
I don't know.
I think he's dead.
Cowboys too, right? Well, yeah, he killed himself.
Oh,
right?
every bullet missed from both the guy and the girl. The person in the car wasn't hit a single time.
The cops can't fucking shoot.
Yeah, like what percent
You're
would you
just
say
right.
can
That's
shoot
just
well?
true.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I when I'm watching those videos, I can tell right away by how they hold the gun when they're shooting it, because some of them limp wrist it, and that means that the pistol is able to really rock back and do stuff on its own.
Mhm.
But that means that if you can imagine, you've got the slide on top and you got the grip on the bottom. The way a semi-auto works is they move into sort of independent of each other. The slide has to move while the grip stays stationary. So if you allow the grip to move with the slide, it might not cycle now because you're not holding that grip stationary so that the slide can come back and do its thing. So they'll limp wrist it in a way and the gun will be moving around and the gun will jam. But then I'll see a cop pull his shit out and it'll be clean. Like it won't be just a Glock. It'll have some shit on it. Maybe he'll have like a SIG with a red dot and I'm like, oh, okay. He'll be holding it a certain way and just like, all right, this guy can shoot. But then I'll see people just spamming, just shooting everything in front of them. Can't reload.
I've seen two police. They had rifles, not pistols. And I think you've seen the same videos, Kyle. Like one of them was like, he goes to his car, he goes to the back, he gets out his rifle. It's AR-15 or M16, I can't tell. And I think on the way there, he asked a bystander, like this way, and they're like, yep, they're over there. And then the bad guy is just outside, like the doorway. This is a PKA hangout we watched it, the last one, and I was the only fool who was like wasn't so sure that was the bad guy that I'd be ready to pull the trigger. Everyone else in the hangout was like, obviously that's him, But yeah, the guy came and he shot from a distance too. I might call it 75 yards.
Yeah,
and every bullet hit its target. Sometimes they're good.
Yeah. I've seen a few like that where a cop pulls out his service rifle and shoots a bad guy at like 100 meters, and it hit. He's just, and he goes, subject down. I'm like, oh, that's our guy. That's Officer fucking Badass.
Officer
there.
Badass. Officer Badass. So there was the Uvalde shooting.
That
And
guy's
then right
cool, too.
afterwards, there was another school shooting where the cop just like passed everyone. He was the glory guy. He's like,
The
where
trans
are they?
shooter who had the sub 2000, the Keltec.
The trans shooter. Yeah, he was a trans guy. Yeah.
She
What
was.
did the
She had
cop have?
Oh no,
She-
he
my
was.
bad.
He was a trans man. I don't know. The cop had an AR, but the shooter had a Keltec sub 2000. It's that piece of shit I was trying to shoot sodas with when I was pepper sprayed. It's a folding gun. I don't know what caliber his was, but it comes in maybe 9 and 40.
You said those were kind of shit. right?
I mean,
Maybe they're neat for what they are.
I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, you could break it over your knee if you wanted, if that's a definition of shit. It's a folding gun.
one.
There's the interesting thing, like it folds in half, and then it's just so small and compact that you could really sneak it into a school.
And it seems like
checks out.
that person, she put it to the test.
Me
She stuck it in
personally,
the
I
school
just like to throw it in my toolbox because you got a little 9mm rifle you can pull out if you want. And it's non-discreet, but that person clearly wanted to murder children with it for some reason. I see so many airport meltdowns and dragouts recently on my police video stuff because what people will drink too much and get too drunk to be planed, I believe is how they usually put it.
Okay.
Or they get like snotty with the gate agent, plus they're drunk, so the cops come. It's one of my new favorite genres. These grown men and grown women start screaming and crying and biting. And the cops like, how much have you had to drink? Well, that's they're asking you to incriminate yourself, by the way, folks. If anyone asks you how much you've had to drink tonight, just look him dead in the face, like you
And
don't
say,
understand
"More than
fucking
you."
English.
like more than you could.
Yeah, more than you could, pussy.
I watch so much cop shit that I fucking like speak their fucking language now. Those leading goddamn questions.
What do you
those
say?
pieces.
You're in an airport and you've had a few drinks, but
Mm,
there's a
answer
really
questions.
hammered guy who's like really causing a ruckus, and now the police are asking you.
I
'cause
type
you're
on my
kind of
phone.
in the mix.
I type into my phone, I'm nonverbal. My lawyer can be reached here. And I show that to them. They're not going to be able to say that they smelled anything on my breath because I never spoke to them. I'm not going to talk to you and breathe
Damn.
my alcohol breath onto you. You can, my lawyer's name is here. Here's his card. I have a picture of it on my phone, and call him. He can tell you how many drinks I've had and what I've had to drink today. And they can call him, and he can answer those questions for them. And he'll
Mr.
sit-
Woodworth, we
I'm not
contacted
talking to
your
them.
lawyer, and he says he just
This is if I'm guilty, by the way.
Woodycraft.
Yeah.
This isn't a scenario like you said where this is if I'm drunk at the airport and they're about to fucking take me downtown. By the way, this isn't if like a cop just wants to talk. The cop wants to talk, I'll fucking talk to him. I'll shoot the shit. But if they're investigating you and they're fucking with you and they're up in your, where were you headed? Where'd you coming from? I don't know about all that.
Dude, how drunk do you have to be at the airport for like a cop to get involved? Like it's
pissing yourself, biting people drunk.
okay, biting people. Okay, that's a problem. You can't be fucking biting people at the
The
airport.
ticket agent's like, she hit me, then she hit him. And by the way, this chick has told a story like, I don't know why they're treating me this way. I am from Detroit, okay? They do not treat black people like that here. Atlanta is so ghetto. They hate black people here. By the way, majority of Atlanteans are black. It is a black majority city. They hate black people here. I have never been treated like this. And that one there was prejudice. And they go back over there. And she started just scratching for my eyeballs. And I curled up into a ball because I'd never hit a woman, but she just got in there deep, you know how she is. And she's like, and they just attacked me. I think she'd had about 15 drinks. 15 is what the bar tab said, right? Yeah, 15 drinks. She hit me too, by the way. And she's cut back to her, and she's just moralized. And then the realization, they're like, okay, ma'am, yes. Now put your hands behind your back, and the shit hits the fan. And the next thing you know, my favorite one was the chick on the motorized luggage, because she's like zipping around riding the motorized luggage, and the cop just wants her to leave the airport. So he's following her, zipping around, riding a suitcase, and it's comical because of that, because she's talking shit. And then by the end of it, she spits on the cop, and so he's got her hand. Oh, for sure. He's got her handcuffed, shoved into the corner so she can't spit or bite on him. And people are going, why are you holding her like that? And he's like, because she spat on me and she tried to bite me, and we're waiting on a spit mask. And I have to hold her here in this corner until an officer drives to the airport, gets out of his car, walks into the airport, goes through security, comes to this gate, and provides us with a spit mask, which would be about 10 or 15, 20, I don't know, but she's here. And it was great. The whole time she's screaming and begging, let me go. It's like, no, got to hold you here. You're a spitter.
Damn.
You know the victim perp, whatever, the cop interaction I hate the most? When they scream at the cops, don't touch me. Take your hands off me. Like they have this inalienable right to not be touched or handled. You know, when they say get out of your car and you don't, now you're escalating the situation and getting yourself into more trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you don't get out of the car, I'm gonna break this window, I'm gonna unlock the door, and I'm gonna drag you out. You should be like, is there another choice? Maybe we can go that way. But no. And sure enough, they do it. And the whole time, the perp starts screaming, get your hands off me. Don't touch me. And
I love it.
If I'm the cop, socially, 1% of me is like, no, am I being rude?
I watched
as you wipe the spit from your cheek, you're like, no, I'm not. Like this bitch.
I watched one this week where they surround this woman in a car, white lady, and they're like, get out of the fucking car, get out of the fucking car. And she starts driving toward them. So now she's using a deadly weapon against them. And the cop gets on the fucking hood, and he's got his gun pointed into the windshield. He's like, stop this fucking car. And she takes off, and he dumps the mag into her. Blam, 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 blam. And you can see him, like, it looks like Terminator 2 when, you don't know this, Taylor, but the machine gun fire is just eating the windshield away, and it's just incredibly cinematic, and you're blown away by the sound effects, and they and you're like, oh my God, Robert Patrick's a stud. Look at the CGI. It was like that, and he dumps this mag into this lady's like face, chest, head area, And then they're in a parking lot. And so she drives out of the parking lot and down into a deep ditch that leads to the road. And the car does this woobly thing where the cop is thrown clear onto the asphalt, does a movie roll, and the car takes off. And you can kind of see as she's driving away, she looks at the cop like, ah.
Oh, do you think she's still trying to drive?
She is driving. She drives away.
But she's all shot up.
She drives. She's all shot up. She drives away, and the cop is now. There's no the bad guys left the scene, and so now there's just a cop standing in the road, and new cops arrive, and they don't understand what's happened. They don't and he's trying to tell them, like, and they're like, "Where is she? She went that fucking way. What do you mean? Where is she?" Because he
follow the blood trail on the
blood trail. They pull her over, stop her like down the road. Some other cops, and she gets out, and she's just like falling apart. But I think she lived.
Ah.
Yeah,
I saw that one recently. I'm sure Kyle's seen it, and maybe Taylor too. She's an older lady. I'm gonna call her like 65. She describes herself as a country girl, and she's not attractive at all, and she's just absolutely belligerent with the policeman. And again, it's like, she's like, "You didn't have to throw me down." He's like, "Well, you wouldn't get out of the car, and then you hit me, and then you kicked me." And she's like, "Well, I'm a country girl, and when I don't get treated right, that's what I do." And he's like, "Well, now you're under arrest."
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that plays in court.
Yeah, he tased her maybe even.
He did tase her. Yeah. He was explaining why he tased her.
Yeah, because
there's the video, by the way, of the cop.
Oh, you know it.
I knew shooting through No, that's the windshield shooting cop
video.
That's I've seen the one you're talking about. She's kind of a chunky gal too. I felt bad for her. I know she was being it was I felt bad that she acted like that. It's what I guess I mean. It's like, why are you putting yourself in a position where he has to whoop your big ass? Why are you making a fool out of yourself? Where this man, I was reading this article about prohibition and how these women would walk into the bars and the taverns and smash all the bottles and do this huge amounts of damage, but it was just not gentlemanly to manhandle a woman back then, apparently. And that just flies in the face, first of all, of what the media has always taught me. I thought we were beating them the shit out of them back then, but it seems as if most people were so gentlemanly that some bitches could come into your bar where you and the boys were hanging out and not just like cause a ruckus, but destroy the place and empty it of any alcohol to drink.
I have a theory. I think they operated a little bit like the UK police who have no guns. Like, all right, it's not so much you that I'm letting detain me and do all this. It's the people who will come if this shit goes sideways. Because this is during Prohibition, right? So these women are going into people.
No, this is how Prohibition happened.
Well, then I'm
part
off.
Of like led up to it. Yeah,
I was gonna say during Prohibition they let them get away with this shit because all they lose is the product. Whereas the alternative is to go to jail or
during Prohibition they would have killed those women because then organized criminals took over because you've created a black fucking market by outlawing alcohol. Now you have criminals who own the taverns. Al Capone made his money selling fucking liquor, right? Like became the richest man in America or something.
Gave us a lot of awesome movies, a lot of awesome lore about the Italian mob. Like
Police Activity remains to be my favorite YouTube channel in existence, where they just show you that raw. If they do edit it, they only do so for entertainment purposes. They just make it a better story, and it's just cops shooting it out all day, every day. And so many people, like, God, if they tell you to get out, don't drive towards them. They'll shoot you 12 times. You see so many people get shot on there, unless it's a woman. I've noticed that if it's a woman and she drives toward the cops, they'll usually let her go and like crash into 8 more cars. But if it's ever a dude, they light him up.
Like for car chases specifically?
Like there's this scenario that happens a lot where the person's in a car and they won't get out and the cops have their guns out and the person wants to drive away and the cops are standing in front. And if you drive towards them, you are now like
endangering their lives. Yeah.
We've already began the attempted murder charges or the assault with a deadly weapon charges. And like they oftentimes will just start shooting the driver over and over in those scenarios. But I've seen that it definitely matters, like who the person is. I saw a lady in Georgia. She must have rammed like 12 cars. She's got a kid in the back seat, like a toddler or something. And they have to sandwich her.
Shoot the
yeah, they can't shoot.
They can't just light them up.
Yeah, because you couldn't see the kid well enough to make sure you hit it anyway. You got to wait till we get the door open.
Yeah.
They're don't want to wing that little fucker.
We thought it was a small dog. Oh, go ahead.
No, they had to like sandwich her with like a car in front and a car in back. And like when they got her out, she was like, What'd I do? She had rammed 12 cars. They'd been beating on the windows, begging her to stop. I didn't do nothing. Like, what are you taking
saw that
me?
one. She had a baby in the car too.
Yeah.
That I
Do you
tried to look up what happened to her. Like I found her name and I searched like sentencing and stuff. Maybe it hasn't happened yet because it only happened in like June or July.
Just as slow.
But it was an outrageous example of a woman just running over. She ran one guy 3 times. 3 times tried to stop her car by hand. The fuck? What was he thinking? He was like pushing on the hood, trying to stop her car.
Wouldn't the car like always win? It's like that man versus car bit from Rick and Morty. Yeah, I don't know. That's the best channel on YouTube. That shit is awesome. There's this huge library that you can go through, and like sometimes it's cops being like actual heroes, saving babies that are dying, like CPR.
not
on the
often,
baby.
but sometimes.
Like just as many. I'd say it's more good cops than bad cops.
No selection bias on the YouTube channel.
I don't think so, because like this channel just shows you like cop interactions.
Is there any really good, like I want a top 10 like version of that where it's like top 10 like hostage situations, number 10,
just go what I would do then is go to the police activity channel and then go by like views,
like most views,
most viewed, because the like one of the most viewed is like a hero rescue. There's a bunch of them. There's one where like the cop ties a kid's tie who's speeding, who's going to like something important. But then there's like fucking shootouts where they like knock on the door. Come out of here, James. Get out here. And James opens up with an M16 from inside like it's modern warfare and kills a cop immediately. Larry's dead. And he's laying there. And then the other cops are like, what the fuck? And they're all shooting just randomly like an action movie into the building. And you can hear the guy in there, come on! And it's like, what have we stumbled into here? Like there's tons of them like that with machine gun wielding bad men. And it's like, how did I not hear about the massacre on 6th Street that I'm watching right now? How am I only now learning that this happened? It's like some action movie shit, like 1 out of 10 times. I saw a crazy crackhead go after a female cop with a knife. Like the cop knocks on the door, ma'am, could you come outside? She comes outside with the knife already back and stabbing at her. And she shoots that lady, and the lady's guts are out on the ground while she's crawling, still trying to stab, while a canine unit is dragging her across the ground. And the cop goes, careful there, don't step in the intestines or something. It's so hardcore. And it's this cute female cop, and when she gets stabbed a little, it's not bad, it's in the arm, but she screeches over that radio, code, whatever code is for like cute girl just got stabbed, need some white knights. It's like a code 77, and every cop within 50 miles came. Like they were there so fast. I'd never seen that kind of response time. The president could be down and they wouldn't have gotten there that fast. They were patching her up and killing that other lady like as fast as they could. I've got since this is kind of a car topic, it's got a little car flavor on it. Did you see this cop shooting through his front windshield at a bad guy?
Oh, that video is crazy.
I'm usually up to date on this kind of thing.
This guy goes, I don't know what the guy he's shooting at did, but I can only imagine that he raped a convent of nuns and had one in the car with him, like wearing her head as a helmet or something like that. Because this cop he's there to kill him. This cop is trying to murder this man as they drive down a semi-busy, what looks like California neighborhood.
I don't recall. I only saw the GIF version of it. I didn't watch the whole video. I can't imagine the cops started this gunfight. Did they? I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I didn't see. I don't know. Someone who's seen it got to tell me.
Are we going to watch it together?
Yeah, we'll wait for Taylor to get back. I'm going to read the description a little bit. Let's see. It says, Las Vegas police on Monday released the body cam footage of 2 men weaving through traffic and, you're right, shooting at officers during a violent chase downtown that left one of the men dead and the other wounded Wednesday morning. Looks like they were 22 and 30 years old. I think they were wanted for
shooting a 25-year-old.
Yeah, there you go. They had already murdered one person, it seems.
And they were on the run.
And this cop is not fucking around. I've often wondered why you never see cops do this, because I've always thought that it'd be pretty effective, in your car. You could shoot right out the windshield. Although I have been in a car and fired a handgun like this, a Glock or a 1911, I don't remember which. It's so fucking loud. It's so fucking loud.
Can you imagine firing that shit in a car?
Kyle, this is something you'd know. When you shoot the windshield, doesn't the bullet change direction? Does it go down? Does it go up? What happens?
It's not going to be as accurate as it normally is, because it just got deformed and it's doing some weird shit. But his target is so close, and I mean, he's not being a marksman anyway. He's slinging lead at that car in front of him, so it really doesn't matter that much. The real issue to me is twofold. One, I can't tell you how loud it is in that car when you're shooting a handgun out the windshield. I've done exactly what he's doing here before. It's so much louder than even in a closed indoor range loud. And the other thing, and it was the part that scared me the most, is when you shoot a windshield, little bits of glass come out, but then there's almost a vapor of windshield glass that starts floating around that can get into your eyes, and you can even inhale. And forget fiberglass. This is much larger and scarier pieces, but they're still sort of airborne, and you can see them sort of floating around. And this guy's firing multiple shots, so I'm queued at 0 here if we want to.
Taylor, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yep, I actually watched this, and Kyle, could you tell if he actually hit anyone with the shots through the windshield or no?
Yeah, he killed that guy.
With those shots?
I don't know about those shots. I don't know if no, there's no way to tell if he hit him there or not, because at one point he gets out and dumps another mag into the guy.
When you guys drop the link in the chat for me, please?
It's there.
Yeah, it's scroll up a little bit. It's body cam shows officer shooting.
Oh, sorry. The preview did not come up. That's
all good.
Bullshit.
Goddamn YouTube or Skype. One of them. Not our fault.
Fucking YouTube, Skype or YouTube or whatever. Okay, good to go.
3, 2, 1, play.
I love the fact that these guys have to wear video cameras.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm already digging that his name is Charlie 4.
This is some good ass footage, dude.
Right? It's well placed. It's on his shoulder, looking forward.
Bro, he needs to really work on his hand position on the wheel, though. He shouldn't have gone at the 12 o'clock position there. He should keep his hand at 9 o'clock. Whoa, no hands, buddy.
Dude, if you think that's bad, wait do you see him reload his handgun?
Oh, that move was sick.
He just threaded the needle.
Dude, this cop is, I mean, so far he's looking pretty good from a driving perspective, especially considering it looks like he's an Explorer. The cops I work with on shoots hate the Explorer. They call it slow and fragile, but none of the CHP get the turbo ones. They all get the bullshit NA6, which is a pig. So they all hate it. They all wish they had the Crown Vics back.
Just fun to know, I'm the only guy who watches this video with his head turned sideways to fix it.
Actually, no, I think I might be wrong. Is this a Taurus?
Oh, I just thought that it looked similar in height to the other sedans. I have no idea.
I think I'm sorry. It might be a Taurus. They have a similar interior with the Taurus and the Explorer. They're on the same platform.
I've always enjoyed the Explorers when I rented them. I wasn't doing anything, performance related. Just cruising across the country. But
yeah, you weren't trying to smash curbs and pit maneuver people. There, who sees the OJ Bronco? There's the OJ Bronco. Just went by. Yep. White 95 Broncos are the most valuable of the modern Broncos now.
I bet.
They're moving into real cool.
Dude, if Kim Kardashian kills someone and makes a slow escape in anything, I'm just going to invest in those.
Just a fleet in whatever vehicle.
Yeah, whatever she drives. It's fucking orange Honda Civics. All right, this is what I need.
This guy's running a lot of red lights.
Oh, so he's being shot at. I just want to point out he's been shot at before.
What is he in a Tahoe? Is he in a Tahoe or a Blazer or something? Is it the two-door?
The bad guy looks like an Expedition.
It's an Expedition, huh? Well, the irony, right, of it being an Expedition, which was gonna be the Bronco. All right.
I took that curve nicely. That's got to be
some part of this must be a lot of fun for the cop.
Oh,
Dude, I
for
really
sure.
like. I
His
really
heart-
like most of the decisions this cop is making so far, like regarding driving. I really approve of.
His heart's got to be pounding. Like this is what we trained for.
Yeah.
This is why I joined the force. I've been writing tickets for 18 years. Someone's gonna die today.
It's fucking boss. You think he's wishing? I bet you he's going. I wish I had a goddamn rear drive fucking vehicle.
Oh yeah, for sure. He wishes he had like one of those interceptors.
You know what really helps right now with him with this is you see it's driving a Ford that has the blind spot mirrors, the convex corners on the mirrors. Those are really nice. It eliminates his need to check blind
Oh, this
spots.
is smart. He's rolling the window down. I know why he's doing that.
Oh, so he doesn't blow his eardrum out?
I thought that's why he was doing it, but then he tried to point the gun out the window.
Oh, here he goes. Oh shit!
A nice little 5 tap through his windshield.
Nice cluster.
Control.
Bro, he's still 2 hands.
I like it. I like it.
Dude, this guy is awesome. I mean, he's probably like spraying and hitting kids and shit, but other than that, he's awesome. He's got a laser sight. You see his laser sight on the windshield there?
He should go for a
Wow,
tire,
the
I think.
expedition on not only is it an
Look,
expedition,
this is the
it's
lamest
on
reel I've
ramps
ever
with
seen.
clear tails, dude.
Oh my
So
god,
those
I'm better. And I'm
What's
it's
he
backwards.
Put his mag in backwards.
Oh, look at that
Oh,
guy.
the guy's trying to get away.
Yeah, that's
Just unload the fucking.
By the way,
mag
I
and
think
the
the
shit.
he might have a
Wow,
flat in the
that
left rear.
That was fucking.
I like this move too, behind the cover.
Wow,
he's
that
controlling
was
the engagement.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Dude.
yeah.
I think I'm on the side of that cop.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's not in trouble.
And I watched that video as well before, and I totally agree with Kyle and Woody that I was super impressed with like the badass shooting through the window. And then I saw him like switch his gun to his left hand to hit it like this and slide the magazine out and then put it in backwards initially. And it's like this isn't even close to right. Transfer hands.
That's
to do
someone
it.
who is
Press the
so
mag-
hyped up on adrenaline, so scared / excited / in the moment. Like he's forgotten any training he had. He put it in. He's like
He's in the red. He's in the red.
click. It's that fast for a reload. It's and you're there.
Yeah, when I'm shooting a paper, maybe.
Dude, I'll tell you what though. I don't know about as much about guns as you guys, but from the driving perspective, that cop by police standards, that's an excellent driver.
By police standards, that was good shooting too.
I was gonna say the same thing because shooters would be like, yeah, cops, they're not incompetent compared to like you know the average housewife, right? But they're not good.
That look like crank. That's
Cops
fucking
are
funny.
so fucking
It's
bad.
interesting to like you can watch these and be like, I do this, I do that. I'd be sliding that mag out, slamming it back in, ready to rock. But it really, I feel like when 2 of those SUVs pulled in front of me, I would have been like, all right, there's a shady guy at this 7-Eleven. I'm gonna stop over, make sure nothing's going on.
What
You guys handle him. I loosened him up for you.
What I'd actually do is just fire 5 rounds because that's like all I have, and then be like, "You got to go." I'm out of bullets. There's no reloading
My
here.
LCR is gone, and I didn't bring a reload.
That would be, simultaneously pooping and running away.
Man, that's sick. I like that a lot. I really like that move of shooting out the windshield. I hope he's got glasses on because that glass was just
And honestly, Scorsese should hire him for a fucking stunt coordinator and DP because that was a great angle as well.
Yeah.
You really had
I've been
great
on, like,
coverage.
What's
long
DP in this scenario?
tangent
Because it
this
doesn't
week.
fit.
Director of photography.
Oh, okay.
Not double penetration. Boy.
I didn't know the other DP.
What is your
I
camera off?
watched many of these cop videos, like live. I guess the cop cam videos. But I went on a couple tangents this week watching, like just one after another, and I can't get enough of them now. These are too entertaining. The only thing you have to look for is fatal shooting. If you just do regular shooting, sometimes it's just missing and it's just like shots were fired and then nothing happened. So if you want real shit, you have to make sure fatal's in there. Very entertaining. And so far, I haven't seen a single person fatally shot where I wasn't like, yeah, they didn't deserve that. Everyone so far has been like, yeah, you were asking for it.
Wow.
Although some of them that are fucked up are the ones that are clearly suicide by cop.
yeah.
And you can see how much it's fucking with the cops in real time. There was one dude who got out of his car and was like backing up from the police who were obviously in front of him, and he was like putting his hand behind him, like obviously like moving around, trying to make it clear that he was like doing something. They're like, hey, hands up, we will shoot you. If you don't stop doing that, we will shoot you. And they keeps doing it. They warn him again. They warned him like 4 times, and then they shoot him. Laying on the ground, he changes his mind, and he's like shot. He reaches into the front of his pants and starts like fiddling around, and they're like, dude, please get your hands out of your pants. We don't want to shoot you again. Please get it out. And the cop goes, bang, 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 shoots him 3 times, and they go, all right, no more hands in the pants. Dying, goes, "Roar."
It's like a Monty Python skit.
Again?
It was fucked up.
And they're like, make me shoot you again. Like, and they shoot him. And then I think that was the one where a guy with like a shotgun came over and was waiting too.
God.
And then right as he like in the final time, he blasted him with the
With the
shotgun.
shotty!
Timmy, what happened
Dude,
to SWAT?
here's my least
But-
favorite one. So,
Guy wanted to die at the hands of the cops, and it wasn't like a free kill for the cops. It was like we're quivering in a way where it was like these are people who are scared and not wanting to do what they're doing right now.
I saw one. It happened in like an underground subway train. It might have been Chicago. I don't know. But they get the guy on the ground and they pin him. So the guy is held and he's down and he's starting to comply. The guy pulls out his gun, puts it at the back of his head, and shoots him. And then realizes, fuck, that wasn't my taser. And it's just like, yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Oh,
I remember
no.
that.
Just-
Yeah.
can you-
That's horrible.
That's like almost unbelievable, but I could see it in like the.
They're like guns. It's a
Isn't
mistake
that
that
why
can be
they're
made.
like yellow? Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Not to bring
got
it around.
pistol
Let's
grip
talk about paramotors for a second. But like I sometimes get in the yellow, and I'm not the best version of me. I can see how these mistakes are made. You know,
Yeah.
you get a little freaked out. It starts fucking with your head, and you got to take a breath. And
That's fucked up. I saw a guy. I was up filming 2 days ago, and a guy had fucking jumped off a bridge in the canyons and was like laying at the bottom of a ravine. They were like holding up traffic. He had just driven his car into the middle of the bridge, parked it, and just jumped.
suicide or base jumper?
Not a base jumper.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely not a base jumper.
Well, I mean, technically.
Did not-
I'll be back from my car later, Ross. Radical. Jump on. No, I'm killing myself, friends. First come, first serve on the
Well,
car.
base stands
These
for
are-
what? Like bridge antenna, something elevated. So it's still a base jumper, technically.
Yeah, I
There-
suppose.
It doesn't say
theory.
baser or something like there's supposed to be a shoot in there. Just
Call me old-fashioned, but if you're going to kill yourself, be courteous to those around you.
Park legally.
Don't go park in the middle of the street and jump off. Don't blow your head out in the Denny's, where everybody is going to miss out on their late night
What a mess.
munchies or whatever, like making a mess.
Denny's. That's
Just
very
do
specific.
it in your garage like a normal person.
park
Yeah.
illegally, leave your keys in the ignition with a little tag that says finders keepers.
He may have done that. When they let me cross the bridge, there was a white Hyundai parked in the middle of the bridge with cones around it, and the door
Yeah.
open. And so I think he might have left his keys. I
Some
don't know.
good
but-
Samaritan's gonna be like, no, a prowler. What do you know?
I wonder if, like, when you're about to jump off a bridge, that instinct kicks in, where, like, as you're about to leap, you go, all right, phone, wallet, keys. Just to make sure.
And I'm good.
That's fucked
like-
up.
Here, I want to watch I just linked a Twitter clip. It's only 7 seconds long just to set it up. A British cop and a man are fighting, and just don't talk during it. It's only 7 seconds. I was laughing at
Okay.
this earlier.
I
I'm
need
watching.
a second to cue it.
God
damn it. I can't not watch it. It's just the way Twitter works.
All right.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Damn. Man, Seth Rogen has some good stand up on him, right?
Oh, that's so funny.
Dude.
He's just running down the street.
Looks just like
So
him,
the
right? Seth Rogen?
is hard to get past.
Yeah.
But are you guys hearing that? Is that the sound of his head against the cement?
I right?
That's probably his fucking utility belt of nonsense. That those
Watch
fuckers wear.
again.
He
Oh,
definitely-
that's his
he
skull.
definitely smacks his head. Oh,
That guy is so hurt. Oh,
that's how people die, right?
I'm
When it
watching
comes to
his
fighting
neck
on
snap
concrete.
back.
I love the laugh.
The
It looks
society
just like
might say
Seth
this is
Rogen.
fine, but I think it's bad.
No,
Yeah.
that's he's
Add that one to the
definitely
list.
got a concussion there.
Dude.
I'm not convinced that was all his head.
Really? I've watched it 14 times now. I think
I'm not convinced that's not Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I think you probably would.
Wow. Taylor, you're not. I hear
trying
the
to see
head.
it.
Oh, that's his head.
Yeah, that might be his skull. I didn't catch that off the start. Well, his head. Yeah. Huh.
It's
Okay, well,
back.
It's okay. It's still funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Who did McSorley hit? I always have
Who's
to ask you
McSorley?
this.
Oh,
the
shit.
hockey
Hockey
player.
player.
I don't even remember. Brashear?
Was
Is
it
that it?
Brashear he hit? I thought the
I don't-
guy's career was ruined.
I got him mixed up.
I think it was
don't know.
Brashear, actually.
We were watching that police video, Taylor and I. It just happened in Georgia where the cop pulls over a guy, and the guy starts being resistant. The cop tases him, and the guy eats the taser standing. He's going,
I
"Arrgh."
love that.
And when the taser stops, he turns around and starts kung fu fighting the cop. I'm talking karate chops. I'm talking
Is he hitting or doing what is it called when they just do the poses?
kata.
Kata, yeah.
No, he's
doing
hitting him. Yeah.
It's a little bit of both. Some of it's ineffective and not necessary. It's like he's working that that kata stick thing.
Yes, with the stick.
It's like he's going through his kata and then walking into the cop. So some of it works and some of the deflections even work.
That's how Bart Simpson fights.
He's
It is,
fucking the
yeah.
cop up.
I'm going to
And
move my arms like this. And if you get in the way, it's on you.
And the cop cannot believe that we're having fisticuffs out of nowhere. And finally, he gets the cop's like mouth jaw in his hands and starts bending the cop over backwards. The cop's neck is bent as far backwards as it will go, and they're still standing. And he's like got his hands kind of around his jaw, like you grab a child or like an insolent woman. And he's bending him back, and he's going, yeah, bitch. And the cop tries to whomp him with that silly baton they have, and he's not having any of that. So then
Katas
the
it
cop
right away.
Katas it away. Ka-ka. It spins into the interstate. By the way, this is happening right next to busy interstate I-85. So then I-85, it's redundant. So the cop grabs his gun, puts it to the guy's ribs, and shoots him twice through the lungs. So then the guy falls and like quickly dies in front of us on camera over the next 8 minutes. It's a good watch. But the fun thing was there was a Brinks truck driving down the interstate, slams on the brakes, throws that bitch in reverse, and the Brinks man comes back he comes out of the car with his gun, like holding the guy down on the ground. It was great. I love Brinks man. I love those police activity videos. I found a new channel that shows you more of the instead of just the shootout, everything before and after. So you get to see them like get thrown in jail. You get to see them in their jail cell upset. It's great. It's great.
I need to switch to Kyle stuff. I'm watching like Audit the Auditor. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
No.
It's a very dull version of it. Like what happens is you have these people who intentionally antagonize police, right? So it usually starts off with like videotaping the police building.
Is it like the sovereign citizen people?
They can be, but
They're
usually
hilarious.
they're kind of
Those people are funny as fuck, dude.
These
Yeah.
people have real legal ground to stand on. These guys are taking their actual rights and pressing it as far as they can legally go and saying, do something about it. I'll sue you.
like I'm standing on the sidewalk and I'm filming in the window of the police department, which it turns out you're allowed to do. But the police really don't like that. So they hate that. So they're like, what's your name? And he's like, I don't want to tell you my name. You know, what are you doing? I don't want to talk about my day. Why are you filming inside of the police department? He's like, I'm outside.
I'm a journalist.
I'm a journalist. Yeah. Who do you work for? I'm an independent journalist.
Independent journalist.
And their goal is to get the police to violate their rights, and then they sue.
Yeah.
And then this guy, Audit the Auditor, well, he's an attorney. These people are usually just like, you know, amateur attorneys.
Yeah.
But Audit the Auditor, the YouTuber, is a genuine attorney, and he'll look up like the section and code. And at the end, he gives people letter grades. Like, I give this cop a D+. I give this, you know, citizen a B-.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot from it. But the thing is, the police typically tell you have fewer rights than you really have. And I never have the confidence to be like, when do you need to produce your ID and when don't you? For example, what if you're the passenger? Can you just tell the police to fuck off? I think you can, but if they were like,
state, but I don't know. I'd give them I'll tell you this. When I'm in the passenger car, I don't bring my ID. This happened. Like I was in a car that had a car accident and I was the passenger and I made a point of not bringing my ID because I don't want to be part of your nonsense. The cop was like, do you have ID? I was like, I absolutely do not.
Aren't you supposed to have it though? That's what I was always told. Aren't you supposed to always have your ID?
No.
What are you gonna do? Write
like
me up. My
Nazi
name's
stuff.
Joe Stevenson.
I just put a little. I got a Star of David that I just put on, and that way everybody knows I'm a good boy.
No,
you
I thought
have to
you
have
meant
your ID.
That's how you show people you're an attorney.
You have to have you have to have a driver's license if you're operating a motor vehicle, but they can't ask you for that bitch unless they have conducted a traffic stop, or if they suspect you of committing a crime. And if you know that they have no reason to suspect you of committing a crime, then they're in a lot of trouble. I saw a cop chasing a guy around a park, like shooting at him with a taser, being like, telling him he was obstructing. And another cop is like, whoa, what are you doing? He was obstructing and fleeing from what? Resisting arrest for what? Fleeing from what? Obstructing what?
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Or another one. Cop is pulling over someone, boom, right? Auditor, or that's what they call themselves, auditors, starts filming the police interaction with the person who's getting a ticket for something. Cops hate that. They absolutely hate being filmed. So they'll tell them like, well, you're impeding my investigation. They're across the street on the sidewalk, 60 feet away, and they need them to be like 250 feet away for like rolling through a stop sign. It's bullshit. And I never have really the confidence to be like, no, 70 feet away is reasonable. You can suck my dick. I'm not going any farther.
How much
Some
money
of them
are
are
these
that
people
antagonistic. Some will be like, fuck you, pig. Do something about it, fatty. They didn't have a 5XL uniform, you piece of shit. What kind of high school bully can't hack it in the military piece of shit are you?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it can be a little dry, but
what's the most amount of money you've seen, or if they do follow? $250,000,
$80,000-$90,000 just for like putting your hands on me and making me move.
What was the $250,000 for? Did he like get tased or beat up or just?
I think they like aggressively cuffed him and made him spend a night in jail or something like that.
It's a pretty good trade-off.
Damn.
No, yeah.
All I need is work,
boys.
I do that 4 times a year.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll get greedy. Then you'll be like,
right.
Jackie, going into work, because you have like your bullhorn and your placards just to bother people.
I just get annoying as fuck maracas.
Yeah. Like, he's a menace, but he's too wealthy to stop at this point.
Has he not learned to play the triangle yet? We all hate him.
On the Police Watch YouTube channel, I think it's Police Watch, you get some really satisfying ones. They'll spend 15 minutes building up how much of a piece of shit this guy is and how many chances he's been given. And you know it's coming because if you fast forward a little, you can see this big peak in viewership, like 20 minutes in. You're like, I'll sit and wait. Show me how much of a piece of shit he is. And this bitch won't. Perfect one. This black lady from New Jersey, of course, in Florida, trying to fly back home, but she's drunk as a skunk. They won't let her on the airplane. Southwestern is like, no, you cannot board this flight. As a matter of fact, you've been so obnoxious, you can't have any Southwestern flights. You'll have to go back through security, book a new ticket with a different airline, and that's it. We've refunded your money. We'd all turn around and get the fuck out of there. Try to do it quickly so we can get our flight ASAP. Yeah. Not her. She's sitting there, obnoxious, drunk as fuck. She's sitting on one of those pieces of luggage that's motorized and you can ride around. that are really comical.
Yeah, she's winning me back.
I want one of those for the house.
They're amazingly quick and like agile, seemingly. I watched her do it, and the cop is being so understanding. He's an electric bicycle cop in the airport. He's zipping around, and he's being so cool. This and that. They've done this. He gets on the phone with her sister. Here, he explains properly what's going on. Just get her to go through security, and it's all over. That's all we need. Finally, we get her in the plane train. She's being shitty. She's drinking water, but seemingly getting drunker and more shitty. He's just like, just walk that way. You can see where she has to go. Like home free is right there through those gates. Just walk there, just drinking talking shit. Random black fella walks by, gets involved. Cop lets that happen. Yeah. Try to convince her. If we go through there, we're home free. He can't do it. She spits at the cop, and that's it. You've spat on me. Then she spits in his face. They hate it. By the time it's over, she's fucking handcuffed, mushed against a wall, getting hog-tied, and like I love when they do it. They do this thing where they hog-tie you. They tie your ankles together, your hands behind your back, and then they tie a rope to your ankles, and they pull you through the car from the other side. And then they loop it over the door, close the door, and use their body weight to pull you all the way against the door so the other guy can slam the door you came in through. And now you're in that bitch, you fucker. I love it. I watch 2 hours of this shit a day. Just people getting. I saw one today, 5 cops on this guy, and the female cop gets her thumb in the bad guy's mouth somehow, and he goes, and she's biting the shit out of her like a bulldog, and she can't get her thumb out, and everybody's screaming, stop biting her, and one guy's punching him in the side of the head, just pop, 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 and finally her thumb pops out. It's all bloody and shit, and I thought for sure she was going to retreat, because I don't think much of female cops. But she stayed there the whole time. Stayed there, all bleeding everywhere. Everybody was bleeding. It was rough. Have you ever seen the Police Activity YouTube channel?
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
no.
Let me just go ahead and say you're welcome. What you're going to want to do is watch the whole playlist in order later on and have a couple drinks. And you're going to have some laughs. You're going to cry. You're going to cheer. You're going to be afraid because it's literally nothing but body cam footage, and that channel will edit together 5 different officers' perspectives.
Oh, right.
And make you a movie out of some of these crazy. and it'll be such crazy shit that you're like, how have I never heard of the West Dallas shootout? Tombstone is pussy shit compared to the stuff that goes down on the daily and is uploaded on that channel. But
crazy.
My favorite crazy like action movie type moment that I saw was a guy took a hostage with a knife, and as soon as the cop like approached and saw that, he shot the guy in the face.
Oh God, yeah.
Drew down, shot bad guy in the face, and as bad guy is falling, very much dead, again in the face.
Yeah. And you see a little bit of his brain come out.
It's spittle.
Yeah.
Spittle.
That guy's got that,
it was in a little shed type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know remember what his partner said? Nice.
Oh
yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
Here's the best part about that video.
That now. Yeah.
Like the cop didn't catch it, and most of the people in the YouTube comments didn't either. The poor, like I think he was a Sikh guy. He had the beard, maybe the turban too. That had been taken hostage. Pissed himself. So that's why he's being weird at the end. He's trying to like hide that he's pissed his pants.
I remember that.
I don't blame him.
Hey, I don't
tagged
either.
him in the face, and then he tagged the moving target.
As he's
double
on the
tapped him.
side,
Yeah.
he
That's some fucking Kyle Rittenhouse marksmanship right there.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I mean,
That's
you'll
why.
see. You'll learn this soon enough when you start watching the Police Activity channel on YouTube. But every time the cops like. They'll shoot him 16 times, and now it's time to handcuff him. And so they'll be like, "Glove up!" Like I've heard that line delivered with like so flatly and so many times now that it's comical.
Oh my God!
Like they just boom, 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 boom. Glove up.
The guy's literally like bleeding out. His hand is still maybe touching the gun. It's like. Get your hand off the gun! Drop the gun! It's like the guy is so dead. Like, I think you're okay.
I do like when the cops have like. Sometimes you see a cop who just has some common sense and he's not frazzled and he's not operating on fucking training. He's just in the moment being a great cop, and they'll be like trying to put the cuffs on, and he's like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, let's provide care. I don't think he's gonna leave. Okay.
What are you doing?
You shot him in the spine, Mark. Okay, let's try to stop the bleeding.
Right. Yeah, it's like cuffing Kermit.
Oh Jesus!
Jim Henson is gone. Like this bitch is going nowhere. I've seen a lot of them like that. I've seen so many of those cops.
Oh, I'm never gonna get that image out of my head.
No,
Jesus.
No, you're gonna
That's
love that
awesome.
channel. And sometimes it'll make you mad because a cop will be a piece of shit. He'll kick some handcuff like
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I've seen
head.
that stuff too. It's
And
like,
but then the
not all
next one,
cops are fucking awesome.
the one right after that, cop pulls over a speeding car and a woman jumps out of the driver's seat immediately and starts sprinting at him with an infant in her hands. He's choking. Cop saves the baby on the hood of the car. There's three different videos like that on that in their like library.
Imagine she's running with an infant running toward you, and the cop just goes, yeah.
He's like, and then he does the fucking RoboCop twirl.
Yeah. She had a baby. It was loaded. She's coming right for me. I don't know what these new ghost guns look like.
Look like a Samsung
look like
to me.
babies. I don't fucking know.
I figured it was an invisible gun.
Yeah, invisible baby
So,
gun.
Officer Morgan, at that point you saw the baby-shaped weapon. Is that correct?
All right. Well, I guess we don't need a grand jury.
Good shooting.
That's a good shot. Okay, next case.
Oh my god!
They show they are even worse. They show like a CGI like animation of a woman using a baby to kill a person, and they argue that like a baby still can deliver more than 75 newtons of force when swung by a small woman.
Oh my god! Can you imagine?
Every year, 75 police officers go down by being clobbered by an infant or toddler.
A baby. Yeah, baby weapon.
Well, we understand all that, Officer Morgan. We are familiar with the baby clobbering epidemic, but why the double tap? Why did you shoot the infant? There's a lot of inexcusable nonsense on there, and then there's like hero cops, and then there's just
hilarious.
Then you'll be quickly convinced you never would want to be a cop ever. Like
I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to.
How is that allowed on YouTube? Is what I'm saying. Like
because it needs to be there so that like those cops can be like judged by the public, and like if there is a crooked DA or a crooked.
I'm just I think Wolf is saying, how do they even allow? Like you think they?
That's
take
what I'm
all
saying.
That shit off?
Because YouTube likes the idea of shedding light on potential police violence and documenting that for the public, and that's my take on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because there will be that warning occasionally that's like, hey, you're about to watch some shit. That's how you know you got a good one. I saw one where female cop comes up to a door. No gun. I don't know why I did that. Comes up to the door, knock, 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 wellness check. Lady comes out with the butcher knife already cocked back and stabs the lady cop in the arm.
Jeez.
Bad. Big butcher knife. Lady cop takes 3 steps back, pulls her gun. Lady drops the knife accidentally, but then goes to retrieve the knife. Lady cop blasts her before she can get that knife back up. The lady cop's on the radio. I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed. Every fucking white knight within radio distance.
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
75 miles.
Right.
It swarmed in. She had 3 of them bandaging her up. Meanwhile, they have tased this woman, shot her again, and then sicked the dog on her. The dog is fucking her up, and the lady's hitting the dog, and the lady's like, "Don't you hit my dog! Don't you hit my dog!" And then he tases her while she's hitting the dog. And so it's like everything they have.
The dog shot her,
and then you hear one of the most wild things I've ever heard a cop say, ever in a video, ever. He goes, "Watch your step. There's guts everywhere." Because they've shot her in the stomach, and I think the dog is like torn her guts out.
Pulling it out.
So there's like intestines on the asphalt.
Was this Officer John Wayne? Wow, that is a hell of a fucking statement.
He goes, "Watch your step there."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how do those guys get away with it, and I get shadow banned for playing paintball? Like, seriously, makes sense for me.
Use one of those like police body cams that has like, or just put the overlay, put the text on the top that says like whatever they put, and play that little chirp every now and then. So
yeah.
No, that's some good shit. You'll see lots of like dogs being used to fuck people up, and like Cujo don't fuck around. It's good shit. I watched a video last night where the police were shooting this unarmed black man at his own house, and they'd already shot him, I don't know, 8 times or so, and he's on the ground like, "Please stop shooting." And they go, "Put your hands up." and he puts his hands up, and they shoot him 11 more times.
Was he resisting?
He was, well, as best as you can resist a 9mm. Like they're gunning this guy down.
That was the marksmanship.
They're killing him in his
He didn't
yard.
like it.
And then they handcuff him, of course, like as he's groaning in pain, so he can't staunch his own bleeding. And I looked at I like paused it and went to the description. I'm like, this is fuck. They just murdered this guy. And I Google his name, and it's like officers found guilty of manslaughter in the fucking shooting of blah blah blah. And I'm like, manslaughter? That guy's dead. And he died a
murder. Yeah.
This guy died
manslaughter also means you're dead.
He died a painful, scary death.
And a horrible death of being murdered by police.
Death, usually of like passion.
So correct.
Am I right?
Well, no, manslaughter is you were doing a reckless act that resulted in someone's death, like drunk driving. That's often manslaughter. However, there is a stipulation with manslaughter that if you were also incorrectly performing your responsible duty or whatever, like for example, if a lifeguard lets someone drown and doesn't do anything about it, that's often considered manslaughter. So I guess the way they're considering that is it's the police's job to police and walk around with guns, and they were bad at that, which resulted in a death. So manslaughter. If I had to guess, that's the way I agree with Kyle. I think that's just it's hard to get more murderous than shooting a guy on the ground.
Yeah, based on Kyle's story, it seems like they should have gone for murder.
Yeah, but if I had to guess, the reason it's manslaughter is because they were performing their occupational.
It's because they're cops.
Yeah, because they're cops, and cops can do whatever the fuck they
correct.
want.
That's the real answer. Correct, but yeah,
the murder is a charge. It just has degrees. That's what I'm thinking of. Third degree, second, first. I don't know them.
Yes, I don't want to take a bunch of hate for this, but I don't like police officers.
We've went through them before. I think it varies on jurisdictions as well. Like one place might have different verbiage on what constitutes second, third, first, and I'm sure there's federal and. It doesn't matter. But,
if that guy's
in the end, they got off light based on what they did, because this guy's they say hands up, and he's already shot. I don't know how many times.
If that guy's pinky tip would have choked a child, manslaughter. Right? If that guy's pinky tip had fallen from the sky and choked a child, manslaughter, because he was bad at paramotoring.
That would be manslaughter. I think it would be. Yeah.
And that shouldn't be murder.
Can you imagine what would happen to if that's how the paramotoring crowd got swooped up by the FAA and all the okay, now you need a real pilot's license, bucko.
I don't know that I hate it.
It sounds like it's going to be that guy with the no skull that's going to fuck you guys over, if anything, the paramotor group. Because it doesn't, based on what you said, that guy has not learned an inkling of a lesson based on that.
Yeah, what do you think his next injury will be?
He's going to die. You don't accelerate from the top of your head getting cut off to a finger issue or an arm break. You go from there to a cataclysmic death. Maybe he crashes into a preschool.
It's not like 9/11.
It's like 9/11. It's Timothy McVeigh of the skies.
Ages 9 to 11.
This aircraft weighs 42 pounds, and he just injures a teacher. It's a sprained ankle from the
She's
collision.
The response is, she's like, "What the hell?"
Rude.
What is that thing?
42 pounds. Those things are death traps. Me and my friends
what I would
were joking
want?
about mounting a gun to one.
One of what?
Paramotor. Yeah, there's a guy who videotaped himself shooting a gun out of his paramotor.
Really?
Did anybody give him shit?
The community did, but I'm not sure it's illegal. So
if
he's
I
out
was still
west.
making videos, I would do that. I would learn how to paramotor well enough to make a quick.
Mm-hmm.
Would recoil make any difference in your flight or no?
No, it's so small, right? This was a Glock, right? And you could hold a Glock against your nose and shoot it. I think
we were going the next level up. We were like, what if you mounted a belt fed to the side of one? Because you got to go all out, right? So I'm trying to think.
If you had a cool mount where your feet maybe were in some stirrups, so you could
the gunner mount, the bar mount with the.
I'm sure Woody's good enough pilot to like you can hover that thing, huh? Like if you've got like a wind to deal with.
Yeah,
like,
I can definitely hover.
You could get into a hover and then you'd have the pushing back of the machine gun. If you had like a 30 caliber, like a
we were talking about like taking like
cool.
a 308, like an MG or whatever, or something comparable to a 308 or whatever. And we were like, wouldn't that like push the sustained recoil, like push the paramotor back?
Yeah.
I bet that would. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't stop in its flight. No. It'll if he's moving forward actively.
It would pendulum him back a little.
Yeah. It would just cause some resistance you'd have to deal with, correct?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just imagining anything impacting you a lot, but I guess that's wrong.
It is wild, like watching those videos compared to videos where like guys are armed or like someone's carrying a gun, because when that happens, it's just like two guys screaming at each other, and then like someone will gently lift their hand and be like, "What was that? A hand? Was that a fist? I saw that!" Like just like itching, both on the trigger, ready to go.
One of my favorite, one of those like in public gun self-defense. It's an older video. I'm sure you've all seen it at the bingo hall. Where some literally some guy was like, this is what's gonna get me on top. I'm gonna rob a bingo hall, and like some 79-year-old man stands up and executes him. like from like 15 20 feet away. This guy comes in with his gun, like, put your fucking hands, and this guy shoots him in the skull from 15 feet and drops him deader than dead. It barely became a scene. If the gun would have been silent, the game wouldn't have missed a guess. Like how quickly this guy turned around and executed this guy.
Do you think there's any chance that right after he blew the guy's head off, he went, bingo? And then like everyone
that would be great.
Frank, no, Frank wins. Frank has the lawnmower.
Yeah, Frank wins. Give him the lawnmower, everyone. He's keeping you alive today. Meanwhile, there's one like 95-year-old woman in there who's like, I thought this was finally the ticket. Just won't die.
Notice the gunfight. She's still over there stamping, not even noticing the fucking gunfight.
So we just watched a police activity video before the show. I am a little torn on it. Kyle, can you break down what happened?
So it looked to me like they're in New York, and a couple NYPD cops are pursuing this guy who doesn't want to stop. He's like running from them, and they all end up on the ground wrestling. Two cops on one guy. And the guy pulls out a concealed handgun and starts shooting the cops. And he shoots them both. And the cop pulls his gun out and he can see the bad guy's foot. The bad guy's not wearing any goddamn shoes. And trust me, he should have worn some steel toes, because that cop starts drilling his feet with bullets into the concrete like it's a nail gun. He's going, "Paka, paka, drop that gun. Yeah, drop it, I said. Paka." And it's like, dude, you're gonna blow his whole foot off eventually. I can see black marks, like from like sooty black marks from the tip of the barrel. Like he's touching the guy's ankle and giving him bullets through his foot into the asphalt.
He's shooting him so directly in the. This is how I would shoot someone in the foot to be sure I got it. Like,
I mean,
barrel pressed,
100% accuracy from the cop. I thought it was a great shoot. Because, like, the guy is shooting the cops.
I didn't even catch that. I heard him say drop the gun, but I couldn't see the perp's gun. Did you see it?
You see it at the very end. They get it away from him. Look, black semi-automatic gun. I don't know what the fuck it was.
I got a question. You guys are going to know the answer to this. But if you hold your pistol against something, like a bale of hay or a chest or whatever, does it cycle still?
Oh, you could actually fuck up the cycle if you were pushing into him, right? Yeah. Actually,
it may not ever even fire because it's something that's called out of battery. I was looking to see the nearest Glock, but if it's out of battery and the slide is pushed back ever so slightly, you could pull the trigger and it won't go off.
Right, yeah, that's what those ninjutsu guys are teaching you when they're grabbing the gun. Has anybody ever done that? Like demonstrated that to you? Like tried to grab the pistol out of your hand?
I've seen a lot of people demonstrate it. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do it in a practical, real world environment.
All right, I was at those Tech machine gun shoots in Tennessee somewhere, and there was an Israeli guy. He was the bodyguard for a firearm company owner, and he was doing the technique on people. And I was like, please take this pistol from me. And what he's doing is slapping the inside of your wrist so hard that like the tendons or whatever kind of like automatically release the gun. He took that fucking gun from me.
How close were you?
Oh, point blank. You have to get within arm's reach and be like, all right, grab it.
Would you ever allow that to happen when you were holding a gun?
No.
You have to count on the guy being melee distance with a ranged weapon.
And I got to stick it out for him and say, take it now. But I probably wouldn't be doing that in real life.
I think that maybe it works for someone who doesn't really want to shoot. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Like you have to almost talk me into pulling this trigger and the guy doesn't. Like,
I mean, if someone doesn't want to shoot that bad, I feel like I could just cry. Please don't kill me.
This is solid technique. It's my UFC.
All right, everyone, gather around for my technique. You're gonna want to poop and pee all over yourself.
Make yourself an unappealing target.
Yeah. I get up like eyes absolutely red from weeping, like covered in piss, and I'm like, and that's how you survive. That's how you survive on the streets.
That's how I won the Silver Star.
That's how sorry. And that's just
it's like the Jerry Smith.
Yeah.
It's like I just kept crawling and it just kept working.
Just so pathetic. They don't want to waste a bullet on you.
No, I thought that was a good shoot because the guy had a gun, and in the wrestling situation they were in, it didn't seem like the cop we were on board with really had much else to get a hold of and shoot safely while he was being all octopused with his partner and everything. So yeah, pump some in his ankle, I guess. Why not?
I misinterpreted the video. If people, no, we can't show you the video. I wish we could. We get struck. But in the confusion of the body cam, we've all seen shaky, too close body cam footage. I thought the guy was just resisting. He was not letting them put cuffs on. And as a response, the cop did like probably non-lethal shots to the leg and the foot. That was how I interpreted the video.
That guy's crippled for life, dude. He hit the ankle bone with the first one. Yeah, the first one was like on the ankle bone, and the second one was like
also on the ankle bone.
Well, maybe the third one. Yeah. One of them went through like the fleshy, meaty part, like on the bottom of your foot. That guy's crippled. Dude.
If you can afford a good reconstructive surgeon, it's probably not bad, but that guy doesn't look like that kind of guy.
No.
Okay, that's a good point. Because I was going to say, I've broken all my arms and legs, and they work pretty well. Like it's not a death sentence to
shattered. It's like a fucking light bulb inside his ankle.
There are 4 bones holding your foot to your leg. I broke 3 of them at one time once.
But broken half, right? They didn't explode from a bullet.
It was kind of like a diagonal on the worst one. They just put some screws through it and let it heal back.
Well, Eduardo there has no such representation.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have
a good
Cadillac health insurance plan.
This is a good way to take care of these criminals. Like that guy, how is he going to be a good, effective criminal ever again? He can't. You've neutralized his ability to do crime.
Have you? Power stance.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? I mean, I guess he could like get into money laundering on the back end, but like he's like his time on the street of running around causing mischief. That's done. That's over.
You've created a white collar criminal now.
We've created. Does he have the chops for that? He probably would have been, stealing percentages of pennies out of hedge funds if he had the intelligence for that in the first place, instead of stealing from gas stations or whatever he's getting.
It might be one of those. My hypothetical situation. How do we feel about shooting feet when people resist handcuffs?
No, you don't shoot people just for fighting. Like, okay. All right. So I watched so many of these police videos that like there's like flavors to this thing and how resisting arrest goes and what the perp is actually about. Some people are having this. I see a lot of, not stereotype, but it's usually black women. And they're mad about something that has nothing to do with the cop, but like they're so in their emotions, they can't speak to the cop clearly enough to get the problem solved. They're like, everybody's part of their problem now. And you don't shoot that lady in the foot. You just kind of got to wrestle her down or tase her or something.
What about firing one right across her bow?
Right across her bow?
Ruffle her feathers a little bit.
Just a warning shot, like boogie.
Warning shot, just boogie it.
Bang!
Grab her fake hair, throw it on the ground, and then she'll have something new.
I have that video too. Actually,
do you?
Of course, I have that loaded up. 2 cops pull over this lady, and they start arguing, and she doesn't want to get out. The cop's opening move is snatching her wig, and then she kicks him, and then he decks her, and then we're all on the ground fighting.
You guys underestimated how street smart I was. That's a good, solid technique.
No,
was he a bald cop?
You're on his camera. You couldn't tell. I don't think you should shoot somebody if you're a cop unless they got a knife or a club or a bludgeoning type. I saw a guy get shot with a paint roller the other day. Dude had a paint roller coming at the cops and they killed him. And it's like, I don't know.
What if the cop can't win the fight? Now I know he should be able to, right? Like, and ideally, every cop is Brock Lesnar, and they can subdue you with wrestling. But what if it's a woman?
Oh, if the guy's coming at you, then he doesn't need anything to be shot. Like if you're the cop with the gun and you're trying to arrest, I don't know, the fucking Circle K bandit who just made off with a bunch of bubblicious, and he's like bucking up at you and he's coming at you fist clenched and like sprinting at you, you kill that guy. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I could probably take him. Let's hope so, because I'm basically Batman. I've got all sorts of gadgets and weapons on me.
He's not armed until he gets to me.
Yeah. It's like, if you see, remember that video we watched where originally they were trying to quickly left the news. They're trying to be like, unarmed, black kid shot, and the cop was like, he was coming at me with a sickle, and then and then they showed like the last frames of his like, they were like he was gardening or something. The media was trying to spin that, and it just showed this guy like like running towards him with a scythe, and it's like, all right, yeah, somebody's coming at you with a scythe, sickle, any sort of harvesting tool. You gotta shut that down. You can't have that. Yeah, it's really.
He started harvesting.
I mean, like, I feel like pretty much anytime there's a weapon in, like a gun in play, especially, I think lethal force is like the fact that he only went for the feet was remarkable restraint on his part.
I think he was trying to be safe about like not hitting his buddy too.
That's also,
that's how I saw it.
Not trying to crossfire or have a round penetrate.
Which is like when I watch so many of these videos that I often see them surround a car that's been running and doing stuff. And it's like, my God, this crossfire is way more scary than that like concussed Grand Theft Auto suspect in the car. Like everybody's pointing guns at everybody. It's
probably everyone here has shot. What are the rounds that light up? I'm sorry, I'm being a moron.
Tracers?
Right?
Tracers?
Tracers, yes. And once you shoot tracers, prior to shooting tracers, I thought bullets disappeared after impact. I don't know. They just got embedded in the tree or something, or they break into so many tiny pieces that the ricochets are not very dangerous. No, you shoot some tracers and you realize that they kind of go in unpredictable directions and with a lot of velocity. Like it's a problem. And you don't see it until the tracers.
Yeah, you can also hear it a little bit when you're shooting subsonic stuff suppressed, because once you hear it hit the target, because there's not the report of the weapon and you don't have ear pro and whatnot, you can hear the pow ting bing, and you just like, oh, that fucking went somewhere. Hope it's on the property.
Sometimes you'll even hear it. Yeah. You'll hear it like hit a tree or some whack.
Yep.
Fuck. Glad nobody was. Wait, that's over there. Like that. Somebody could have been over there.
The
like,
supersonic stuff does it, but faster.
Yeah. Kyle, I'm sure, are you thinking of it too? The time Wings of Redemption was,
yeah, we wouldn't, and it wasn't Wings' fault, really. We were standing downrange and he was shooting sort of parallel to us, but I was like, this isn't straight.
This isn't
like if he was shooting at a tree, and the way I remember it is we had been down there for some period of time, and then he knew that he wouldn't be so far. He'd have to miss by like 30 degrees, right? So no one's that bad a shot. You're off by 1 or 2, usually. Yeah. But ricochets go, 15, 45 degrees to the side all the time.
It's weird stuff. Yeah. And it's not like, and the other thing is Wings isn't exactly like, I don't know if he's a good shot or not, but he's not, it wasn't something he was doing regularly, which he could just fuck up and accidentally shoot us down there. That's always sketchy. I want to tell you about the police activity video I saw, because it's like, it's a little confusing about exactly what's happening, but there's a cop in a field. And they've got a woman on the ground. She's in trouble. She's under arrest, kind of. And there's 2 EMS guys, EMTs or whatever you call them. They're there as well. And they've got hands on the woman, kind of helping the cop, because he's losing control of the situation. He's got his gun out. And there's a trailer, like a house trailer, a Wings of Redemption style domicile right back behind them. And out of nowhere, while the cop is like talking to the lady who's on the ground, he starts shooting. Bang, 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 bang at the trailer. Give me your hands, show me your hands, come out. He's screaming orders, and the EMTs are trying to get low because he's shooting right over them. The lady is freaked out and he's crazed. He's shooting at people we can't see. What had happened was someone back at the trailer moved or something. He lost his shit and starts unloading back there. So a few seconds go by of him like being crazy in the fucking field and like wildly pointing the gun everywhere, one-handed. And he starts going,
Look at me. Give me that gun. Give me your gun.
And he has a full-on meltdown. He starts crying and wailing. He starts, and he's still got the gun. He's like, and the EMT is like terrified. He's like, the EMT is, give me your gun. Give me the gun. And he's like pulling the gun out of the cop's hand, and the cop won't let it go. Give me the gun. Give me the gun. And he takes the cop's gun away, and the cop continues to wail. And he sounds like the fucking principal that was nailing Forrest Gump's mom. He's just,
what a fantastic reference.
He's lost.
As he's sitting on the porch just listening.
Like that,
woman
but
loves
distressed.
Education.
Like having a full-on weird panic attack. And finally he's like, I'm good now. Give me my gun. Give me my gun. Because he's embarrassed because they've taken his gun. And like new cops show up, and everybody's so confused about this guy having a goddamn meltdown. And the EMT's like, it's okay, man. It's a real stressful situation out here. Don't even worry about it.
There's no one else reacted like that.
Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna hold on to this though. Like,
when they gave him the gun back, first of all, I'd never seen a cop give up his gun. That's got to be like day one training.
Did he look like a noob cop? Like a
it's
young
from his point of view. You know, he's got the body cam on.
Can't tell.
But he had a full on goddamn meltdown over nothing. He started shooting at like mystery people who were just watching an arrest happen. You know what I mean? It's like somebody's getting arrested and people are like, oh, what's going on over there? So he's blasted at them and then had a panic attack where they had to disarm him. And I bet he's still a cop.
We should probably have higher standards for these people.
About the video I saw the other day. All right. So what police officers responding to a call. This woman, he arrives on the scene to this real trashy neighborhood, white people, white trashy people. Big mamas on the porch. Yeah, my daughter broke the glass table, and it's my table. Now I deal with her money, and that's why she broke it. But she ain't got, and it ain't no good, the table. But she ain't got no business breaking it. And he's like, yeah, she don't have no business breaking your table. And as long as she's a minor, she don't owe you nothing. You her mother. There's a cop's telling her all this, and it's like, all right, this is fairly reasonable, even though like the cop and the mom seem like pieces of shit already. And like, meanwhile, the son is like 16, sweeping up the glass that the mom has from the girl breaking the table. And he's like, y'all ain't gonna do shit anyway. Fucking bullshit police. Always come around. Don't never do shit. Don't never do shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do fucking nothing. What's your badge number? He's just being antagonistic, but not overly. The cop takes it personally. He's like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? I'm here to solve some problems. You shut the fuck up, you little punk, you little bitch. Is that, you know what? Maybe I'll come over and whoop your ass. Won't you come over and step to me,
sound like
son?
a problem solver. Thank goodness we have this man on the force.
And the cop starts and the kid's like, clearly, all right, Mr. Police Officer, I didn't want to fight. I was just mad. And he's like, nah, fuck. And he goes over and like shoves the kid. Like, come on, fucking do something. Oh, y'all punks on the east side. Oh, punks on the east side. Look at this. And like, there's people down the street going,
the sing song.
The cop is saying this?
He's yelling at the neighbors, punking the kid. He's letting the neighbors know that the kid is a bitch. And like, he goes on, and the kid's like, I ain't catching no charge. I'm not gonna put hands on you, catch some charge. He's like, I done told you I ain't gonna lock you up. I'm just gonna whoop your ass. I ain't gonna mace you. I ain't gonna tase you. I'm gonna give you these hands, son. And finally, the cop decides, well, I'm just gonna have to beat the child. He's not gonna hit me first.
A man.
So he walked. So he's like, you know what? Shove, shove, shove. And the kid like does something back, and the cop like puts him in a headlock and like judo throws him over his whole body. And now the kid's on the ground in a headlock, and the cop is delivering ground and pound blows to the face. Good. He's going wham, 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 wham. This is when the second officer arrives on the scene, having no idea that the cop has basically agreed for both men to a mutual combat. And so he tries to grab the kid. Come on. And the cop goes, nah, don't lock him up. Looks right at him. Bam! Hits him again in the face. Don't lock him up. Bam! Hits him again in the face. And the cop's like, come on, kid, get up. And the kid goes, you didn't whoop my ass. He was holding me down the whole time. A second cop arrived just in time to witness an ass whooping. That's all he ever did. But the kid now wants to fight some more. He's like, this isn't over. And the cop's like, I already whipped your ass once. And it goes on for another like 5 minutes. He got in a lot of trouble, the cop did. He just assaulted that minor for no reason.
That's so strange. Usually cops are well known.
Oh, for a reason. The kid needed a good ass whooping, but like officer give you these hands there's a scene like that. I think it's in a movie called End of Watch, maybe Jake Gyllenhaal. And there's a scene where he tells the guy, he's like, all right, you whoop my ass, we'll leave with this warrant. They said, if you whoop my ass, we'll leave. I whoop your ass. You put the handcuffs on yourself and come with us. So enough of this bullshit. And they have like a boxing match inside the house. Cop whips the guy's ass and he puts the handcuffs on and goes. And I've seen that multiple times where cops are just like, you know what? Oh, you tough? No. Okay. And take the belt off and fight people. I saw a video last week. Cop boxing a kid in the street. Clearly, they're both circling each other. The internet.
Huh. Was the cop black on that where they boxed to the street?
I thought they were both white in that one, and the cop was bigger than the other guy. But I kept thinking, like, man, that cop is only going to take so much of an ass whooping.
The cop was black, and I'm like, whoa, he's talented. This guy can throw hands. He's not just tough. Like, he's clearly moving like a trained fighter.
Yeah.
And the other guy also looked pretty good. He was athletic. I don't know if he had as much training, but the cop got the best of him. He was just, his head movement was so good. The other guy wasn't landing the shots. And afterwards, it turns out that the cop like trained all the time. He lives for this.
You know, go through shorts on my TV, and I watch. I'm telling you, I watch a lot of this. I watch so much police video stuff that I recognized a neighborhood. I was like, wait, where are they? It's Griffin, Georgia. I know where they are. I'm like, oh, they're next to the hot dog place.
I'm gonna get a hot dog after this.
Yeah, like I watch a ton of that shit. I found there's been a couple of them that are like places I know because Atlanta's, I guess it is a little ghetto, as that one girl said before they drug her away in handcuffs. She was just dogging Atlanta the whole video meanwhile she's getting kicked out of a Holiday Inn for not paying her shit. Like, yeah, Atlanta's so ghetto. When she started cursing, though, that was the last straw. I love when the last straw comes and they go, quote unquote, hands on. Oh, when you fast forward through one of those and you can see with the most viewed section.
Yeah.
I go to about 20 seconds before the big spike, and it's always right before the cop has had enough. Sometimes it's good to see how we got here. Like, let the person annoy you as much as the cop is annoyed, so you don't mind when he sprays her. But yeah, I watch a lot of those. It's great drama. And some of these people are so stupid, dude. It will be a situation where it's, hey man, warning, don't do that again. Could I see your license and drive? All right, get out of here. That's what we were going to do. But instead, multiple felonies. There was one where a white lady has hit her husband with her vehicle. And he has pressed charges
against his wife.
Yeah, they're divorcing, and
yeah,
she has
not a healthy relationship.
No, and she has bumped his person with her car enough that he has filed charges. He's not crippled or anything, but he's hurt. He's filed charges. Cops follow her into her driveway. She does not stop into her garage, and the cop follows her into the garage. She pulls the garage door down. She's got kids in the back seat, and she's being real nasty right away. Excuse you, do not touch me. Do not touch me.
I was waiting for that.
She's like wedging her left foot all crazy up against her open door so she can't be pulled out. And finally, he gets one cuff on her.
Can you help me understand that she was shutting the garage door? How did the policeman get in?
He came on in. He came on. One of them came in before it could. No, one came in before it could slide. Once he's in talking to her, she hits the button closing him in. His partner comes in through a side door that's there. That's like a regular house door, and he gains access to the garage as well. And they drag her ass out of that vehicle. She is going crazy, screaming and being nasty, and she's like baring her teeth like an animal in this real scary way. She's got like a boy haircut, like shorter than mine. Shorter than any of ours. And at one point, she's handcuffed behind her back, and the officer has his hand like on her shoulder blade, like real high. He's like, just get back in the car. Get in the car. Get your hands off of me. She tries to bite him, and he is so quick. I was impressed. Like he was like, whoo, and you could hear it snap when she bit. He was like, oh, what are you doing? Are you trying to bite me now? She's just losing her shit, foaming at the mouth. They get to the end and they read the charges. She's like, the initial charges that brought officers there were dropped. However, and it's like DUI, driving with an open container, three assault and batteries,
attempted biting,
threatening a public official, assault, simple assault, endangering the welfare of a child, putting 2 counts, like one after another, and it's just, and then I'm like, damn, that was rough. And then the screen fades. Then further charges were damn. They rolled 8 charges up on her, and all she had to do was go, "Oh, I thought the lawyer had this squashed. Dang it! All right, take me in. Let's see if we can be quick about this. I want to get home to these kids. Hey, could you not handcuff me in front of my children? Maybe that's all it would have taken. But instead, she's getting drug out, screaming, fucking bloody murder. And she was in a fairly nice neighborhood, so it was fun to get her perp walked out in front of her neighbors and shit.
Damn, but sounds like a real loon.
I saw a guy earlier. Some of the people are just crazed, and you can tell like there was no saving them. Like you were gonna die tonight, one way or another. You were just crazy. This one guy just went crazy and started running from the cops and tried to run across the interstate and got hit by a car. And he's just they blurred out his body, but the blur was so big you could tell that he took up a lot more space than a normal person would take up. He just got splattered. And I don't know how many people I've seen them fail to tase. Tasers don't fucking work unless we're maybe 6 feet away, it seems like, or they don't know how to use them.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like you're watching less censored stuff. I always see tasers work. Like
if they're trying to show like a taser working, you know what I mean? But if you just watch wild police videos where they get those things, if the guy's sitting right in front of you, it shoots 2 lasers, and the further away from the target the lasers, you can see how far away they get.
Have you seen that? There's a cop and there's a guy running. The guy running's black, and he might be on something, and he's sprinting like towards a hill. The cop hits him with the taser, and he goes straight like this and starts like wiggling like a fish as he flies through the air. Have you seen this video?
Yeah.
You see that, and people like me get to thinking that's what tasers do.
If both barbs penetrate your skin, that is what they do. But if one of them goes in, it just hurts a little. And if they both have to penetrate your skin and get into you to direct that current into you, or they just kind of annoy you, and they really escalate things, right? Because if you shoot a taser at me and it fails, oh my God, I better make use of this brief interim before someone else gets a taser out or he reloads or some shit. Now it's go time. People jump in cars, try to flee and start fighting and shit. What I don't understand is how many people can't just follow simple instructions. I've seen so many videos where cops are assholes and they're the bad guys, planting evidence and basically murdering people. But then I see a lot of videos where, dude, nobody's bullying you. Nobody's after you. You ran 3 red lights, hit a car, and kept going. I just need your information, sir. We're not even trying to make it fleeing the scene. I just need your insurance for them. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work for this lady.
Might be a lie anyway, but yeah.
It was the truth. It was all there was. Hey, they had to fight to the death. Now we're getting drug across concrete. I would hate to have to get face down on the concrete. I don't think I've ever had. No, I've never had to do that. I don't think I've ever gotten to get you down for the cops at all. I always just sort of surrendered. But
smart,
yeah. But if they tell me to, I will.
You have?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like
on concrete, had your face mushed like in a jujitsu thing?
No. They just like ask you to lay down before they put the cuffs on. They didn't force me to lay down. Does that make sense?
I thought I was thinking you were talking about fighting on concrete. My mistake. That'd be a terrible place to fight.
I thought he was talking about the position, but yeah. So anyway,
I'm just talking about like whenever I've been arrested or taken into custody or whatever. I think when I got arrested when I was like 20 or whatever, 21, they handcuffed me behind my back and threw me in a police car. But and that was I watched tons of police videos. I mean, hours of them a day. And I saw one where a 15-year-old boy in Florida is there with his mother. He's all blurred out, but the cop's like, you were on fucking Discord saying you're going to shoot up school. And she's like, it's a video game. It's not for real. He's like, well, he said he was going to shoot up school for real. And in Florida, that's, it's terroristic threats and 2 or 3 other charges. And everybody's crying. And she's like, but he's a little boy. He's like, that's why I'm taking him to juvenile jail. And it's like, damn, hooked him up, threw him in the fucking car. It was great.
Damn. Yeah,
like
you love these cop videos.
Dude, you get these fucking bitches, man. These bitches that have you ever wanted to punch a woman like for real? But of course you didn't. But you're like, she deserves a punch. Like I'm not in the olden times. I get fucking and everyone clapped. If you just gave every one of those,
everyone rejoiced,
and everyone rejoiced. Everyone liked that up in the fucking top right, like Fallout or whatever. It's ladies like that, and I use ladies loosely. These bitches are trespassing, and they're like, "Ma'am, all I need you to do." Walk on over there and head home. Yeah, but on the same level, you don't understand. Ma'am, again, I don't care who started the argument. You can
go home.
Head on over there and head on home. We have a lovely evening, man. Yeah, yo, racist fucking cops. You racist. And you Mexican cocksucker. And it's like, you call him racist and then we're racist in the same breath. And then before it's over, she's face down, titties popped out of her whore ass top, getting drug around the asphalt. You stop moving and we'll just getting the shit beaten out of her. It's great. Fucking pepper spray and this one chick spitting. She's spitting so much that I'm wondering where she's getting the saliva. I don't know if you've ever spit so much at your blowjobs. Oh my God. She's spitting through the grate at the cop in the front seat. Cracker ass bitch. Cracker ass.
Already been arrested, still spitting.
Yeah, she's handcuffed.
Tell me more. I'm getting close.
And he's had enough, right? He's been getting spritzed, and he pulls that shit over and goes back around to her window. He's like, and they just again.
He should have spit on her.
Oh, he's got his bear spray. He's like, if you keep spitting on me, I'm gonna spray you.
That's gonna give her more spit.
She's like a sprinkler. She's like a sprinkler, and he finally. That's it. No more spitting out of her. Now
I don't know. Now she's getting even more saliva. She's crying. Her mouth's watering.
She's even more annoying.
I didn't see pepper spit coming.
Yeah. I had to calm her down. She kept my eyes.
You can tell the cops have been doing it for a while. He's like, this one looks like a spitter. Get the bag. And sure enough, they're trying to spit through the bag. They got like a beekeeper bag they'll put on these fuckers and like zip tied around their neck.
Yeah, that's a big enough problem that they have a spitting protocol.
Yeah.
Damn, spitting is disgusting.
I remember my cousin was locked up one time for some minor infraction, a fight or something. And they showed they either had somebody in the chair or they showed him the chair. Because in jails, a lot of them, they have a chair and it looks like the electric chair, with the straps all over it, like some medieval stuff. And you are 100% restrained, like straps everywhere on your body. And then they put this hood over your head. And he's like, that's what we do to spitters. It's like, oh, what's a spitter? Well, some folks just can't take no for an answer.
Webster's define spitter as one who spits.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I couldn't do that
job.
They
handle it in Italy.
You couldn't be a cop?
No. I don't think of myself as a violent person or anything, but just the level of continuous disrespect they're dealing with, and just for no reason, like unearned. The guy shows up, and he's like, "Ma'am, I don't even know how any of this started," and he's just getting stuff hurled at him, just being mean to him, just shitting on him, telling me just all sorts of racial stuff, and just spitting on him. I don't want to get spit on, right? Especially by some scum on the street. Get Hep C.
Yeah.
To avoid turning into a bad cop, I need to be a cop in a pretty good neighborhood, right? like my last town in Apex, nothing ever bad happens there. There's no murders there. I imagine there's a sexual assault or something, but there's no nightclubs or anything. Like it's just a small town filled with the engineers that work in Research Triangle Park mostly. And I think if you're a cop there, you can retain a pretty good opinion of humanity. But if you're in like New York or Boston or any place with the dark side, then it probably influences the way you see regular people.
I don't think any of us, maybe Taylor, because Atlanta's not even, the side of Atlanta I'm on isn't that bad. There's bad parts.
I mean, I live in the nice part of St. Louis.
No, you don't.
Shitty area.
No, I've seen you live. God, you've still got the gun, right?
Yeah, I keep one on every table just in case.
No, I keep seeing those videos out of Philly though, of the homeless people on all sorts of drugs, like leaning, like it's faded out, and they walk down the street to show you that this isn't this little strip of people. This is continuous. We can walk for 10 minutes and you won't see the end. It's post-apocalyptic. It looks like RoboCop. RoboCop wasn't this bad. RoboCop's diabolical version of the future, with Omnicorp, the corporation taking over a failed Detroit, was pretty dead spot on. But even they didn't know that the drugs were going to make people this shitty. Their drugs are cool, at least.
They had this
little syringe you pop in your neck called Nuke, and you just made you happy. I can't. Every time I'd watch RoboCop, I'd be like, come on, let them have their nuke. It seems fun.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen RoboCop, but I imagine that
you haven't seen RoboCop.
I have not. It's on the list.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. How can you not know?
Well, I haven't seen it. That's how I don't know. Well, dude, right after Terminator and Terminator 2
Jesus Christ,
and Predator and Titanic and all those westerns.
It's this Paul Verhoeven created anti-capitalist Jesus Christ allegory made with police in Detroit, and when a guy turns into a goddamn cyborg and dispenses justice with his literal iron fist. It's great. I've been watching my police videos. Advice. I've seen some wild police videos this week. This guy, it starts off so small, so pedestrian.
Is it always American?
Yes. I don't care about other countries don't know how to handle their criminals. Well, we got that locked down here.
Brazil's pretty good.
Our incarceration rate is El Salvador is okay. Their cops videos would be just murders, I think.
Singapore.
El Salvador got rid of their crime. El Salvador just locked everybody up. They don't get that murder anymore.
This guy had beaten his girlfriend, I think, and he gets set up in a high-speed chase with the cops, but it doesn't last very long because they immediately pop one of his tires and his car crashes. He jumps out, and this is all from the cops' police, the vehicle camera. He jumps out and tries to carjack somebody like in Grand Theft Auto, like pulling at their door handle, and they take off. Well, he's got one hand on their door handle and his right hand on the crack in their cracked side window. And they're going 40 down the interstate with the cops in pursuit. He's on the side of the vehicle. He's doing a curl, pulling his legs up so they're not being drugged. And the car is swerving and he's still hanging on. They finally stop and the guy lets go and goes around to the passenger side and continues to try to carjack him. And the cop goes pop, pop, and shoots him fucking twice at point blank range and drops him. And then at the same time, the other cop car comes from behind and bumps the guy as he's falling to the ground, and they've got him right there, and he's incensed that he's been shot. He's like, "Why'd you shoot me?" He's like, "You broke my arm."
After a 2-mile chase of trying to harm people, he's shocked.
I saw one where the cop ends up in the vehicle with the bad guy, completely different situation, and he's behind the driver, and they're both in the driver's seat wrestling. And the guy has taken off, and the cop is going, "Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car!" And he's starts tasing the guy. And the guy's going, "Ah!" But he's still driving the fucking car. Yeah. Cop drops the taser. Now he's got a pistol. He's going, "I am going to shoot you if you do not stop this car." And he goes, bang! And the guy goes, "Ah!"
Where'd he shoot him?
In the back somewhere. They're it's like they're in a jiu-jitsu match. They're spooning in a high-speed vehicle going down the road. And he puts 2 in the guy, and the guy immediately stops the fucking car. That's what I always find interesting.
Do you know if he died?
I never check. I don't care usually, if I'm being honest. But these guys are such pieces of shit. They'd be like, "Dude, put the knife down." And they'll say it 50 fucking times, spend 20 minutes doing it. But they'll shoot him once. Now we don't need to negotiate anymore at all. He's like, "Oh, they're in so much pain. They realize it's real now."
I thought you were kidding.
I don't understand people yelling at people who have guns. I'm so afraid of a guy with a gun. Don't you know that that's a gun? I saw one where this black lady approaches a vehicle. There's another black lady sitting in the vehicle, and she's talking shit. "Bitch, you hoe-ass bitch. Oh, you got a gun?" The lady in the car is like, "Yeah, I got a gun." "What you gonna do with that gun? What you gonna do with that gun?" She goes, bang! And shoots her in the arm. And she's like, "That shot me!" And she's walking away. Surprise. She's live streaming this on Facebook, dude. She's holding the phone, recording herself doing all this. And now she's shot. And she's like, "She shot me." damn it, she shot us. You just told her to shoot you.
I wish she replied with choose your last words. Like, what are you going to do with that gun? What are you going to do with that gun? Choose your last words. You ain't going to shoot me. Okay. That's your choice.
Yeah. When a cop says, I'm going to shoot you, they fucking mean that shit. And they usually shoot you a bunch of times, I've noticed, which is the scariest part. Mm-hmm. If I thought that either the cop's going to wing me once or I'm going to get away, that was sort of the scales we were playing with. I might risk getting winged a little. Mm-hmm. That's not what they do, though. They drop you and dump magazines into you. I was watching one today. They go, get on the ground. He gets on the ground on his belly. Then he pops back up immediately, unzips his like jacket, pulls out a gun. So slow, Woody. He pulls this gun out at the speed of molasses. And
how were his burpees? Did he look pretty good doing the burpees? Going down and up
was
again?
Clean. The burpee was clean. Like he popped up and was like zip, and they're like, "What are you?" Bang, 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 and they don't stop. He's curled up in the fetal position, and this dude is still shooting him in his ass. You can see his pants like pop every time he gets shot in a butt cheek. Pop, 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 pop. Like, damn, dude, you shot him 6 times in the ass while he was curled up trying to crawl away.
The Acorn video is all you need to see about American police. I think it looks like Finster saw that one.
I love the little roll he did.
He screamed that they was hit. I'm hit. And he full mag dumped into that car. She full mag dumped into that car. And there was
just fine.
Yeah. Oh, every shot missed. Every single shot was off target.
Yeah, our police are wild.
Yeah, there's the video that the second cop that's there that's like hearing like, oh shit, he's got a gun, and you just see the other cop do like 2 consecutive like tactical rolls. It's such a good clip.
He's dolphin diving out there on the asphalt, crawling around. Yeah. When he said he was hit, the first time I watched that, I was like, oh my god. There's a sniper with a silencer shooting cops. This is evil. Oh my god! And then I realized what was happening.
If I'm a squirrel, I try to make that happen all the time. Just tossing acorns on cars.
Like how embarrassing is that? I hope that cop. The worst part is they always get another job somewhere else, like doing cop shit. They're like, oh, now he's a sheriff's deputy in a small town. It's like, why does he have a gun? Why are we giving that guy a gun anymore at all? Like he slung so much lead across all of Tarnation, just bullets whizzing. And if you could see the tracers, you'd see bullets whizzing past houses, over trees, into towns nearby, just zipping across like traffic.
There has to be a role that never has emergencies, like working at the DMV or something. That's where he belongs.
Behind an actual desk. Like he comes to work, takes his gun off, sits it there, and then like he's just toting a gun.
How'd you still give him a gun in this situation?
I feel like
this guy should take whatever he's crocheting, set it aside, and just start processing driver's licenses.
You ever see the other guys with Will Ferrell? They take his gun away and give him a wooden gun. He comes back and he's sanded it and made it nicer and stained it. Did you stain this? A little mahogany. But he's got a wooden fucking gun in his holsters because he can't be trusted with one. That's how Barney was. Andy Griffith's show back in the day, Barney Fife. Andy of course never carried a gun at all, but Barney would. But he kept the bullet in his shirt pocket. He had one bullet in his shirt pocket, and when it came time to like deal with a real bad outlaw in Mayberry, he'd have his hand would be shaking so badly when he put that one bullet in the gun. It was it was a danger to everybody. I see those cops with all that crazy tactical gear. They were responding the other day to a guy with a knife.
Tell us about first responders.
Oh my god, they were responding to a man in his own home with a knife. Sounds like a chef to me. Okay, but we sent SEAL Team fucking 6. They got. I've played enough Tarkov to recognize the gear they've got on, and like Jesus, these guys must have max traders. They got helmets on. They got fucking lasers everywhere. Like, and they're all stacked up. And the guy too, I will say, was being an asshole. He's standing there though, not doing anything, saying "fuck you" over and over. And they're shooting him with a 40 millimeter less lethal. Like remember in that thing Arnold Schwarzenegger had Terminator 2, he'd like break it down, put another round in it, the thumper from COD as well. He's shooting him with a thumper over and over at like 15 feet away.
What is he shooting? Would you describe it as a plastic pellet, a beanbag?
Big rubber impact round of some kind. And, you know, 40 millimeters, not quite the size of a tennis ball, but it's getting there. It's a big shot.
It's a grenade launcher.
And the guy's tired of getting hurt. It is. And the guy's tired of getting hurt. So he takes an end table, like a hallway, sort of longer than it is wide table, and sort of flips it up on its side as a shield. Homeboy with the MP5 just murders him at that point. like that's it. He's like, oh, you're going to deploy your shield? And just wastes him right there. He's got just MP5 SD guy over here, just lets him have it.
Do we know anything about why the police were there, what they were dealing with?
Man with knife. That's the problem.
In his home. I got a knife right now.
Yeah,
I bet Finster has some. I forgot he's a knife guy.
Oh yeah, I got
girl?
really scared. I am a guide.
I'm doing my best. I don't know. You haven't given me clear instructions.
I know. I give everyone else a pass. As soon as you say something, though, I like to act offended.
Have you seen the Afro Man video? What he's talking about?
Because I got high?
No. So Afro Man got his place raided, and I guess he didn't have anything. And but he had cameras everywhere. So he's got the whole raid recorded, and he's like making fun of that particular police department in a song, right? It's not really a rap. It's a song. It's kind of like, it's to the tune of How I Got High, I think, as well. And he's like, why are you looking in my sock drawer? What did you think was in my Sunday pants? Because they're going through his pockets and shit. And it's just like making fun of the officers, showing clips of them fumbling around in his shit. Yeah, this is from his music video. This is the look at this fucking Army Ranger they sent to get him. Like, don't you love that? I always think that's embarrassing.
Dude,
it's a no nonsense haircut on the right.
Turn on our nation's first responders in general. Just the self-proclaimed heroism, right? Everyone runs away while we run towards the danger. Suck a dick, dude. Like, I am just so tired of you smelling your own farts, thinking that you're better than everybody else.
Tell them.
First responders are the cringiest cunts you'll find on the internet or anywhere else.
Is this EMS, paramedics, firemen, police?
Oh yeah,
all of them.
I just want to take them and push them up against a Velcro wall until they're stuck there, because the fuckers are always dressed in cosplay. I'm done with it.
You don't like firemen anymore? Did this start on 9/11 when you're like, it doesn't look that hot?
Quit your belly aching about all those stairs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a little bit of dust in the air.
I know it's raining.
That is the funniest group to go after, because I've never heard anyone have umbrage with first responders, and then they're like, "Oh, can you move your legs? Were you in a car accident?"
I'm okay with most of the first responders. I do think that they look any male dominated good old kind of like profession like that's physical in nature like that develops this good old boy kind of thing. And they can be annoying as shit just to talk to, just because they're that way. I don't hate firemen. I want them to come put my shit out, but I wouldn't want to hang out with a bunch of dudes at a fucking firehouse either. Like, those guys are usually douchebags.
That'd be the hardest part of the job.
I usually got along with all the cops that I knew in private, but then them in private, and in private they're completely different people. You know what I mean? In private they're like, "Hey, what kind of weed you got?" And I'm like, "That's right here." And my cop friend's like, "Oh, that's some good weed," because he's my cop friend. Or he'll be like, "This is the knife I'm gonna use to disembowel some fucker if he ever," and like, "Oh, cool, he's got a Batman knife." Or they'll be like, "Yeah, Kyle, I'll tell you, being a cop ain't nothing but beating up N-words all night. That's all I do these days, beat up N-words all night." They don't. If you tase them, paperwork. Pepper spray them, paperwork. You shoot them, paperwork. But you whoop their ass, Kyle. Ain't nothing to write about then.
Wait, is that part a real thing?
Yeah, he had the Kevlar knuckled gloves, and I was like, "Damn, man, what do you make again? $14." He made like $14 an hour, and then they had to come in and wash their own cars. They had to wash their like vehicles themselves and do minor repair. Like his fender was hanging off.
Really?
He had to fix it. Yeah, don't want to be a cop.
Yeah, quite the cop friends. Very. What?
Yeah, cops like guns.
Oh no, they also
makes sense.
It wasn't the gun part I was surprised by.
It was good to
putting Kevlar knuckles on like you're gonna Batman.
They all have those. You won't find a cop who doesn't have gloves with Kevlar knuckles.
That's not
a cop.
I have like 6 pairs of gloves with Kevlar knuckles
for motorcycle stuff.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yeah, they
Or
don't
for
ride
beating people
motorcycles.
I honestly think it's for sales. They also have sliding things on the palm. I think that's for like protection, and the Kevlar knuckles are because it feels cool. Like you put them on, you punch your fists together. Everybody does. It's like a rule, and it's neat to have Kevlar knuckles.
Yeah,
but I can't imagine sliding on the back of my hands in an accident.
Yeah, it's already gone terribly. If you're sliding on the back of your hands.
Yeah,
man.
First responders, though, that's a new one for me too.
Yeah.
I don't like the police. I dislike the police.
They're included. Police,
kind of all
security
of them.
guards.
Security guards aren't responding too much, are they?
They're the first ones there. They're probably there before the cops. They're the zero responders.
Yeah,
I like security guards. I do hate that any cocksucker that wants to try to check my receipt as I leave a place. Although now, unfortunately, I've watched so many police activity videos that I know that I better show it to them because they're going to call the cops and things can escalate very quickly. I don't want to get killed out here over my receipt. But I don't like them asking to see your fucking receipt. I hate that shit.
You're not wearing like a giant coat with like merchandise shapes under the down in this coat is shaped like a Samsung television.
No, I don't know what the fuck I can you check your receipt, sir. I want to have a meltdown when that shit happens. I've ignored them plenty of times and kept rolling. I've thrown the receipt on the floor. There you go, and kept moving too.
You show that minimum wage employee.
Well, I don't care how much he makes if he's going to be a piece of shit. He could be the owner of the store or he could be some random civilian, but nobody's going to check my fucking receipt. First of all, we're at Walmart, not Balenciaga. Okay, I'm not walking out of here with $8,000 worth of cufflinks or some shit. You see what I got, dude? I got 2 gallons of milk there, some Wheaties. All right, some macaroni in the
Tyson
bottom.
tendies.
I paid for the dog food in the bottom too. Like that's mine. Like what are you looking for? What's the valuable item?
You guys have
Walmart.
a lot stricter receipt checkers than I do when I go to my local Walmart. Like if I am stopped, it's just them like seeing the existence of a receipt. Like no one's doing anything with it. It's
they want
got
to
a receipt and then that's it.
So,
I've had what Kyle talks about at a Best Buy, but I don't go to Walmart much. I don't know what they do.
I don't anymore. They check your receipts.
Well, they must be getting robbed a lot at Best Buy if they're doing that.
They're getting robbed so much at Walmart that they're closing stores in like scary areas.
Target as well. Yeah, I've seen that.
I heard REI did that.
I actually love that shit. I like seeing, that it's like, that's what you get. And people are like, we don't even have a Walmart. Yeah, because you robbed them. Walmart came here and provided a service for you and you robbed them. Now they don't want to provide you with services. Now you can go, oh yeah, nowhere. Go nowhere.
Yeah, it's not good. It affects everybody because like eventually the way we do merchandise stores is brand new. Like a new global thing in the last 100 years. Like being able to walk around and be like, oh, I'll have this. Put this in my cart. Oh, I'll put this in my cart. Like that's new. The way it's always been is like you go somewhere, you talk to the guy behind the counter and you go, I'll have a bag of rice and 2 horseshoes and a can of beans and fire starter and this and that. And then he's like, well, that's fair. That's just fine. And then he goes to the back and the proprietor gets it for you and then brings it to you to the front. Imagine how fucking long that would take.
Yeah.
Imagine how long that would take.
And by brand new, I don't usually think of like 150 years old.
Well, like in the scheme of things, like it's not like
scheme of things. Like if we're talking about like cosmic age, yeah, that's brand new.
Yes, that's what I was referring to. Cosmically, that it's cosmically brand new. That Walmart exists.
I saw this happen in real life the other day. There was a police activity video, and the cops get called to a hotel pool, not a nice hotel. Don't imagine they were in Vegas or something. No, we're at like Motel 6 or some shit. And this person is out by the pool topless, big titties out. And they're like, you got to leave. You got to leave. Your titties are out. And they go, why? I'm a man. What do you mean I'm a man? I'm a man. I can't. I got to wear a top. You've got titties. Yeah, you can't have them out. You got to go. That's it. Cover them titties up. We're going to jail. And I loved how straightforward it was. They're like, we're not going to talk about pronouns. We're not going to talk about who you are. You got titties out. There's kids over there. you coming with me or you're putting them away. I saw 4 NYPD cops, including a sergeant, go into this guy's apartment earlier, and they're taking him to jail for domestic battery. He beat up a girl. They're here to get him, and they don't tell him that until there's 2 of them in his apartment and 2 of them in the hall, and he's in the middle, and he's like, "Y'all give me a minute," and it's just like he's clearly not wanting to be part of this, and then they grab him, and we start wrestling. And shit's falling everywhere. And immediately,
this guy's a proven fighter.
Right away, he gets one of the cops' guns.
I knew it.
Right away, he's got a cop's gun. And the cop goes, "He's got my gun." And so both of the lady cops run away.
That's probably a smart move. He's got a gun.
Both of the lady cops run into the hallway and abandon.
It was just last week. Kyle was like, "You can't try that shit in America. American cops don't back down." Remember that conversation?
I don't remember specifically
men.
what I was referring to, but I mean man cops. Because the 2 man cops are on this dude like fucking glue. They're on they're whooping his ass. One of them has his hands on the gun, trying to keep it pointed the right way, and it's going off, bang, bang, and somebody's getting hit. You can hear, when you're fighting with body cams on, it's a mess. What you're seeing, you're getting sort of flashes and sort of you can kind of tell what's happening until they go to the ladies' body cams. Then you get this nice, stable, panoramic view. Actually, they could get a little closer to the action. Maybe we could see what was going on.
Do it, Danny.
Woody. They are 2 men fighting a third on the floor for their fucking lives. One's trying to wrestle the gun away. The other's trying to do whatever he can to keep everybody alive. And it's life or death. One lady, all over her radio, she's letting folks know that, hey, 20 minutes from now, y'all need to know there's going to be dead people. So she's talking to people who are miles away for some reason about something that's happening right fucking now. Only a woman, a stupid one, would do something like this, because all of us here know that we need to get in the fucking pile right fucking now. I'm gonna get his butthole or something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a testicle, and Taylor's gonna start breaking his fingers.
Test his oil with my fingers.
If I was king, 3 people on the dude, 1 guy on the radio.
She's been on the radio for too long. She's telling a story.
Okay. Yeah,
she's like, he's got brown eyes, Nike shoes. I think is that a Buffalo Bills jersey, sir? Ain't no Bills jersey. This is Jets, baby. Okay, Jets.
His interests include
she's kind of charming. I think
his interests include beating my ass and scaring me.
She's not the worst. She's not the worst, because the fattest lady cop, who was the furthest down the hall from the fight, really got out of there like she'd seen a rat. Peeks back in, pushes the door open, and goes, bang! And just shoots into the pile of bodies, and then runs away again.
One shot, 3 kills.
She didn't hit anything.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't hit anything. The bad guy ended up shot twice, I think. I think the cops were beat up and fucked up from glass and stuff like that. I think that's how it ended. That not only anybody died, but it was a miracle. And if those ladies hadn't been there, it had gone so much more fucking smoothly. God, if I was a cop and they made a real cop, not some fucking pull you over for a DUI. If I was a real fucking cop and they made a lady or just an incompetent pussy, anybody who can't do their fucking job and back me up, I would have to quit. I would volunteer for some other shit.
More big, giant.
I'm okay with that
guy or woman.
Let me tell you why I'm okay with a big fat guy. Like literally in my local police.
You seek cover during gunfights?
Yeah,
maybe. I know a big giant fat cop. Nice enough guy. He arrested me. He let me smoke cigarettes in his car while I was waiting on the warrant.
Shamu took good care of you.
Nice. He's over there. He's like, "Can I have one of the Marlboro Lights?" "Oh, you can have the whole pack, Kyle."
You know, they're not going to have those where you're going.
That's what I said. That was very much implied. But he's a big boy. I'm going to say 300s, maybe 350, because he's tall too. And we were shooting the shit one time because he didn't always arrest me. Sometimes we were just talking about being normal people. In a prior conversation that when I'd known him, and he was like, "Oh, there was this one guy. and he was just going crazy. He was on something, and we couldn't hold him down. We couldn't get his hands to handcuff him. I don't use the guy's real name, but Davey came in there and sat on him, and that was that. He didn't move a bit after that. He was stuck under Davey. Davey said, "You let me know when you want me to get up." It didn't take long.
All right. Well, Officer Davey seems like a good cop.
Like having that much weight to just be applied somewhere is honestly something I could appreciate in a partner. Now he's not going to be quick on the feet, but how often do you chase somebody like it's TV, right?
Kyle's next partner is Lizzo.
I'd quit. I'd have to quit.
Yeah. She's a good sitter.
I bet she sits with the best of them.
I bet she sits all the time.
I bet she could do some sort of like stripper ass slam move on him for real, and it would fuck you up.
Yeah, she's a big fatty, so that's the only requirement for that is to be big and fat.
No, I'd much rather have an obese man as my partner. I just want somebody who's not a pussy, who can throw a punch or at least take one, and like is ready to go and can operate that handgun. Well, you don't need to be John Wick, but you better you should be able to reload that thing at a moment's notice. You should be able to clear a jam, and you should be able to put bullets on target in a moment's notice. I don't. That's a scary fucking job. I can't imagine doing it. I'd be so worried about getting shot by the other cops. And when I watch those police videos, I'm usually much more afraid of the other cops than if I'm putting myself in the guy who's wearing the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in his shoes now. I'm on board with him. He's my player, and I'm like, man, those cops. Whoa, that bitch over there is pointing at you, dude. Move. Oh, circle out. Because there's so many like crossfires and people are getting so like nobody cares about their muzzles. Everybody's pointing rifles at each other and then they shoot. And it's like, dude, we're all skipping bullets off this guy laying on the ground who's been dead. And it's like, why are you still shooting at me? Like there's bullets bouncing over my head.
We don't get to shoot people that often, Kyle.
That's what it feels like. There's a great video today that's making the rounds of the cops pulling the guy over for suspected DUI, and then they open a bottle of vodka, pour it out, throw it in his car, and arrest him for open container.
What?
You see them do it?
The whole thing.
They weren't even sly.
No, the whole thing.
Wow.
That's insane. That's
the
baffling.
punishment for that should be really big. Like the public has entrusted these policemen and put them in a position of authority where they can really make a difference in people's lives. And for them to betray our trust on that level, like that's outrageous to frame people for crimes.
Yeah.
Shit. 10 years.
I really like
prison?
those First Amendment auditor guys who go and like do. I think some people don't like it. I think they see it as a shitty thing to do, but I love it because they.
You ever watch Audit the Auditor?
Yeah, I like him too. He sort of gives like legal overlay.
Maybe a little dry, but I learn a lot.
Same. Yeah, I don't mind the dryness because it's interesting to, I don't know, to hear. Yeah, especially I like all the stuff that involves lawyers giving you points of view. Often it comes down to, well, can they do this? Sometimes. And it's like, that's not, I don't need ambiguous, bro. And it's like, well, the law is ambiguous. That's the thing. Most of the time it's like, no, they can't do that, but you're going to need to file a suit if you want anything done about it. That's why I like that one guy who sues them and gets those 6-figure judgments. I really like that shit. I like him antagonizing cops. I like him antagonizing business owners. He pepper sprays a lot, which frankly I enjoy. He'll go outside like a construction yard and start just recording. And every time a car goes by, he'll go 6783 Alpha. He'll and it's just it's literally a car who came in to like turn around. Has nothing to do with any. And the construction workers are like, yo, what are you doing here? And he's just like, none of your fucking business.
He's looking for trouble. He's always.
You can't be here on this. Yeah, I can. I can be where I want. I'm recording. I'm documenting. It doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Operation construction site bomb is underway.
And so like he's got his pepper spray on him. He's ready to rock and roll. And as soon as they come after him, as soon as they get aggressive, they lay hands on him. He doesn't care who it is. Old men, old women. Like
old women.
He calls it smurfing them. because he uses the pepper spray that's got the blue dye in it. So his videos will be like, cocky construction worker gets smurfed.
So he's not even bothering cops. He's just bothering a guy who's like trying to move pails of concrete.
Well, he bothers them so the cops will show up and overstep because you get, and that's what happens. He ended up getting arrested for that, even though he's clearly like the guy's chasing him down the street, like this, like trying to get him. He's running backwards, like, leave me alone, bro, holding his camera gear. And this guy's chasing him, like sort of clawing at air, trying to catch him. And he gives him a little squirt. And that's it. Pepper spray's so rough.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone just shrug off pepper spray.
Yeah. You can act like it doesn't hurt, but you can't keep going on your mission. Your mission's over. Now your mission is find a bottle of water.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I it was this late night TV show, and there was a dude in a black leather jacket, which matters, and they tased him. They got him like through the jacket, and while he was being tased, he had no fight in him. But the second the taser turns off, he was 100%. Like there was no lasting effect. And then they pepper sprayed him, and he was done. He didn't want anything to do with anything except like water in his eyes. Like he just had to address that problem. And it was like, I see the difference. I get it.
Yeah, it's a real attitude adjustment. That's how I would put it. It's if you ever been hit in the face, you notice how that gets your attention like real quick. It's
both ways. Like I'm
mean?
sorry, I mean it can activate fight or flight. And sometimes I can imagine someone who gets more aggressive because of a taser, but not pepper spray.
Oh yeah. Often I see
taser misses.
So some of the times, sometimes they'll use a taser and they'll dry tase people, just using it as a stun gun, essentially, like where they have to make contact when they don't want to give them their hands, or when they don't want to get out of a car. And if you're going to do that, you really need to be in a position of physical dominance, or at least potential physical dominance, meaning I can do this, and even if you like try to lurch at me, fuck you, because you're a little person, and I'm a big person. But I see like women be like, I'm gonna tase you, and the guy's like, fuck you, and like takes their shit away and kills their partner. I've seen so many videos like that. But whenever they're trying to get a person's hands, that taser seems to do the trick. They'll put that thing in the middle of their back, like on that big chain of muscles on your back, and give them a. They give them their hand. They give them their hand after that. That shit fucking hurts.
When I was young, a friend of mine became a cop, and he went to like police academy. He was showing me how they teach protesters to stand up, and you can even do it to yourself. But they hold them right here behind the ears, and they lift them by that like hole in your skull behind the ears. It's a pressure point, and I was like, really, like. Can't you just ignore a pressure point? And then he did it to me, and I stood right up. I wanted nothing to do with how hard he was pressing into below my ears.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That would upset me.
Well, then that's juxtaposed with that hero cop in Tennessee that looks like Schwarzenegger, that square-headed white dude who like stormed through the elementary school and killed that shooter with an AR.
Everyone's talking about that guy, and he deserves the praise that he got there. Right? He was fearless. But I can't get over the fact that he passed like 5 or 6 other cops on the way to the active shooter. The other cops were like, he's down there. He's down there. What's slowing you down? How long have you been here? What are you, Uvalde cops? Like,
I didn't understand, like, were there like regular cops who were going in and like holding positions, and then like was he like an elite cop, or was that just a regular cop who had a better gun than everybody else?
And better gun, he had a better attitude. Like,
but he had the better gun. Like,
well, yeah, but he found the guy looking out the window and shot him in the back. I could have used a fucking knife in that situation.
You don't want to miss.
I'm exaggerating, but yeah, like. Shotgun would have been fine. AR-15 would have been fine. A pistol would have been fine. It just took a guy with a.
I prefer a long gun for my school shooting defense.
Me too. But really, what distinguished him from the other
just went out of style.
What distinguished him from the other policemen was that he approached the shooter. Everyone else was waiting around the corner.
I'll tell you,
he was aggressive and he was pushing it.
I did a lot of charity work with a charity called the Cannonball Memorial Run, and it's put together by some cops out of San Bernardino County in California. And we would do a road trip across the country, and we'd stop at precincts that had lost officers in the line of duty in the last year, take the patches from their uniforms to D.C. And it was an amazing trip because you hear these crazy stories. But the craziest part is when you'd stop at some of these, very small towns, they might only have 4 or 5 cops that work there, and they don't have ammunition to practice. And so there are a lot of parts of our country that are not remotely adequately protected by police. And particularly when you consider the nature of Americans that live in these areas. The civilians are considerably better armed than the officers are, and in many cases far better trained and experienced. And so these are young guys with low qualification jobs at times. And so, I can imagine it might have taken somebody that came from a little further away that wasn't wildly overwhelmed by a circumstance like that.
Yeah. Well, see, but that's like a nice, measured, nuanced point, which is not what I'm looking for.
Right.
That makes a ton of sense. And
no, we need to put 100 people in a room. Only one of them's going to be a cop. The rest have to be dealt with. Yeah, I get.
I want Judge Dredd, like police officers, to just dispense justice on the streets. Although that is kind of what they did. When they just walked in there and executed that person, and cop number 2 shows up and is like, "Stop!" He goes, "Bang, bang, bang," with the pistol, shoots the person 3 more times, and then he goes, "Stop moving."
Dude, I believe that the body was moving as a result of being shot. And so in the moment, he was probably like, "Stop moving exactly where I fucking just shot you."
Yeah.
Stop bouncing up and down all dead
right by that bullet hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor and I were talking about it. It was like the scene in RoboCop where the fucking giant mech suit guns the guy down with double cannons in the boardroom. like the guy's just fucking trembling with fucking bullet shots. Yeah, that was terrible.
That guy's a hero cop. He should get a raise and a newer, nicer gun. That's the way we should reward cops. The ones who use their guns the best, they get better guns.
It's just like Call of Duty. He's going to earn a kill streak. Game. If he kills 3 more school shooters, he'll get a fucking Predator missile.
Well, let's not set it ridiculous. You kill 1 school shooter, you get a crazy big raise. Boom. Now this problem of cops not running in, not an issue. When they see Officer fucking Hero driving around in his new Lambo, because now he's making $300,000 a year because he killed a school shooter.
That would be fun. If you kill a school shooter, you get $150,000 bonus. They'll all be rushing to the shooter.
Yeah. Or at least a supermarket sweep.
That one was a teacher, but what's he worth?
I'd be having my kids bully people all day, every day. No, you got to push him, son. You got to push him.
You're just trying to create lunatics out there.
You let him know. There's no other way, son. You let him know.
If you put that on any local ballot,
better.
You said 0.5% of sales tax, and it's the bounty for school shooters. Nobody votes that down. That passes.
It's a genius idea.
It's a good idea.
They would do that in Texas because that's their answer for so many things.
No, Texas is an embarrassing state. They're not even up with Missouri.
Now, when they kill a high-value target in the military, isn't it like a thing that everybody in the unit shoots them afterward? If they when they got Bin Laden, didn't everybody put a bullet in him that was there?
I don't think so.
I choose to believe it's true.
I don't know. I mean, as we all know, Bin Laden is living happily in Argentina. But
I heard the guy that shot Bin Laden on a podcast, and he must have, if they did that, he skipped over that. But he told the story beat for beat about how he killed Osama bin Laden. So that was pretty neat. I wouldn't want to be publicly that guy. That seems like a dangerous thing. But they scooped him up and buried him at sea.
Right. But I didn't know if that was a school shooter thing too. If I was, second or third into the room, I'd probably make sure, just to.
I think it's a school.
Double check.
I think it's a police shooting thing. It seems like sometimes everybody will just light the guy up, and so it's almost like you have to charge
range style.
You have to charge 13 officers if this was a bad shoot, and it's are you going to fire 2 whole police departments and 4 sheriff's deputies? And you're going to go after that federal guy or who was here and the state guy who just happened to there's so much law enforcement at anything. If there's a call and there's a thing to do, they all just show up. It's that meme about them eating donuts is kind of bullshit. But if there's a call, it just seems like they just keep coming. It's like flies to shit, and there'll be 8 cops for nothing. Hey, what's going on? Like y'all have radios. Y'all couldn't have squared this out like over the wire.
You can't beat the cops. Infinite respawns.
Like Vanguard deploy,
Vanguard deploy. So they just keep going.
Nothing you can do. They just keep showing up. I saw that thing the other day where the kids were trying to run into their own house, and the ATF officer like saw him going in or whatever, and was like, "Yeah, have your children come back outside. I want a word with them." She's like, "Why?" He's like, "It's a traffic violation." A traffic violation? Yes, jaywalking in this neighborhood. Well, they look like they might have weapons. I need to talk to your children. I'm ATF. And
ATF. He should be murdering innocent people at a compound.
Aren't you?
Have you guys kept up with the Uvalde police stuff?
Yes.
I haven't. Or no, I saw that picture of them like they were like hanging out in the school apparently, and previously they were like, we weren't in the school at all at that time. We didn't know what the situation was.
Dude, it seems like the police are lying every step of the way. They said that the server has lost all the body cam footage now, and it can never be released. We'll see if that holds true, but oh my God, no one believes that bullshit. If the body cam footage makes the police look good, it's out in like 45 minutes. They release that shit. If it makes the police look bad, it takes weeks, years, or maybe just gets damaged in a file server error, as it does here. What was I going to say? It seems like the whole city is on the side of covering up for these corrupt police. Look at these pussies, like around the bend. There's children in there with a murderer, and they're thinking about what to do next.
Like just right down the hall somewhere on the right or left. I don't know if the hall's open. Like somewhere down there. They can
don't give them that much credit. They're so scared. They're so
that wasn't credit. I'm saying they can hear shots from a hall.
Oh, they can definitely hear the shots.
You remember high school, right? You could hear someone talking.
So currently they're blaming. It seems like they're trying to pin the entire thing on the commanding officer on the scene, which I'm a little confused. So, but my understanding of it from just like picking up Reddit information is that this guy was the chief of police or something like that. But now he's on the city council.
Yes. Yeah, he got
he made that transition like right after this.
So he got voted in before this.
Oh.
But it took a little while for him to actually get the job.
What wonderful timing for him.
Yeah. So I think they should have given him the job, because I'm really cautious about ignoring the will of the people. Like, even though it's probably pretty clear, but they can't recall him because he has to be in there for like 8 months or something like that. And they can't do something else. But what they can do is deny his leave of absence, which I think they're doing.
Yeah.
So he's going to get fired.
That's it?
Basically,
it's the only legal mechanism they have to fire him from his next promotion.
We're not talking. Taylor, don't misunderstand and think that this is the only thing that's ever going to happen to him. This is just the thing that's happening right now. Is they're trying to get him kicked off the city council.
This is moving too slow. I feel like we have enough evidence that they didn't do it.
But
no, you can't just kick him off, because So Taylor, I think that you'll respect this position. He was voted in by the people. This is the will of the people. Now, we all agree that he's a fuck shit and that he needs to get fired and put in jail or whatever. But we were careful about the precedent of ignoring the will of the people. He got voted into this job. He should get it on some level.
I hear where you're coming from. It's just the justice collides with the reason on things.
It doesn't even matter. Like, he's apparently never shown up for a meeting.
Because he doesn't want to face the people.
But like even before, right? They made
no, he was just sworn in like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Well, fair enough then. In any case, it seems like they're trying to pin the whole thing on him. But it's like, okay, so he ordered you not to go in, and you we don't have one guy who's like, well, if they tell me not to, I won't go and save the children.
We had one border patrol guy.
I just can't imagine that the chain of command at Uvalde is so intense that when your commanding officer, this good old boy, says, nope, don't go in, everybody sticks their thumb up their ass and lets the kids die.
His argument is he didn't know he was in charge. He's like, I didn't know that I was in charge at the time.
Great.
So, like, the way you tell the story, he's acting in charge and telling people not to go in. I'm not sure if that's true. It might be. Maybe you heard something I didn't.
Yeah, that was the story I was reading today. Okay. I don't know. The whole thing's awful. They were in there really quickly, and then they stayed there at the end of that hallway and didn't do anything. So yeah. I don't like that they're trying to blame this on one guy and act like, oh, whoa, those poor other cops. Every cop there wanted to storm in, but they couldn't because orders are orders. Like they're trying to do that right now, and it's just like all those cops, all of them, every one of them.
The cops aren't gonna
except for the ones that tried to go in and were restrained and had their guns taken away. There was
that person
guy,
was off duty, right?
The guy's wife called him and says, "I'm bleeding, I'm shot," and he tries to go in and they tackle him and take his gun away. Like it's like make believe. It's so
that's
hard.
like
it's so absurd.
Despicable.
At this point, the police were pretty much in partnership with the murderer.
Basically an alliance.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but like everything the police did in that situation expressly acted to the benefit of the shooter inside. Not one thing they did offered any threat. Like if anything, their presence there made people think this is under control, kind of step back.
If they hadn't been there, like the people in the neighborhood would have solved it.
So fucking fast. So much faster than those cunts.
I don't know, man. The whole thing is fucked. I'm really shocked that it would happen in a small town like this. Like I think of those guys as the ones who would, I don't know, go take care of some business.
I don't know shit about the shooter really.
Good. That's for the best, I think.
I don't even tell me. I don't care enough to even know.
I don't know. Like sometimes they have this well thought out like the Unabomber, right? Like when you read his manifesto, it was like, oh shit, this guy was really fucking smart. He just had he took things a little more. This guy
was not the Unabomber. The Unabomber was a mathematical generational talent who got MK Ultra'd into becoming a maniac.
This guy, on the other hand, really just seems like a piece of shit who, like, we're wasting our time to get inside of his head.
Yeah. Agreed.
I've been mentally disrespecting police across the nation. And, like, do they deserve that? I don't know.
Yeah. They suck.
I don't like them.
They suck most of the time.
And like, if something bad were to happen to any of the three of us, they're not going to be the ones to solve it. They're not going to stop anything from happening. It's not in their job title to stop things from happening. What would actually happen is they would like come and make problems for you after the fact. Like they wouldn't be helpful.
I watched Police Activity on YouTube. This is one of the best YouTube channels ever. It's all the police body cam footage. I watched some wild shit go down today. This female police officer goes up to a house. She's just knocking on the door. Hey, anybody in there? This bitch comes running out with a big knife. I mean, we go from 0 to light speed instantly. Bitch is coming out with the knife. And stabs the cop immediately. Stabs her in the arm. The cop the cop backs up down the stairs. The knife, I guess, was stuck in the cop, and then it fell out onto the ground. The cop screams into the fucking radio, "She stabbed me! I've been stabbed!" The lady goes to pick up the knife to stab the cop again, and the lady cop opens up on her. Bop, 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 bop. Like, guts her. And I do mean guts her. Her intestines are on the pavement, and she is sitting up. She's sitting up on her knees, doing that to the cop, like with crazy eyes. So and the like when I know that this
like
is what happened. When every police officer who heard that female cop scream, "I've been stabbed," and like scream, you could tell she was afraid. They came running. Like so much backup showed up, and they're all just looking at I'm not exaggerating, 4 guys in a circle around the female cop, patching her up. She's pretty hot. Like eventually you get to see somebody else's point of view, and she's one of the like hotter female cops I've ever.
Damn.
But she smoked this chick, and the chick won't give up the knife. She's still got the knife. She won't give it up, and so they put the dog on her. So the dog's fucking her up.
The hound's on the bitch.
And the lady's fighting the dog now. And the cop's like, "Stop hitting my dog! Stop hitting my dog!" And I'm like, dude, the dog's there to get hit. Put armor on him or don't send him in. Like if you can't beat this gut shot lady up, then like finally
then it needs to be retired. Yeah.
So the dog's fucking her up, and somebody else comes and shoots her with a taser. And then somebody else comes and kicks the knife out of her hand. And then they all just beat the shit out of her and drag her away. And somebody goes, "Be careful, her guts are hanging out." It was so hardcore.
What a job.
And then once it's all over, they're like, "Wait a minute. Did we clear that house? Let's clear that. Let's go in that." And they find 3 more in the house. Like they were hiding in there.
Three more psychos?
3 more knife wielders?
I think they were like, like drug addicts who were like
squatting
like
in
squatting
the house.
there. Yeah, they found 3 more lurking in there. They drugged their asses out, hooked them up. And that wasn't even the craziest video. Like I just watched police activity like in a montage, right? I watched every one of them back to back from the last 8 months. I saw 3 different cops who did that crazy shit where you shoot a perpetrator who's holding a fucking hostage. I thought that shit only happened in like Lethal Weapon movies.
Like Clint Eastwood shit.
That's some Clint Eastwood shit. When you're holding the guy and you're like, what are you gonna do, copper? And you're just like, fucking make my day and shoot him in the face. I saw 3 different cops do that shit.
And they hit the shot?
Hit the shot and dropped the dude.
Were any of them in America? I feel like I see that.
All
in,
of them are in America.
Argentina.
All of them are in America.
Oh,
and
nice.
another thing I've noticed about cops in like the last year's videos, they got red dots and compensators on their Glocks now. Like they're not fucking. They're getting better at being shooters.
Let me jump in. I have a related story. So, the guy that taught my concealed carry course was a sheriff, like a retired sheriff's officer, and he had seen a lot of shit. And this guy and his wife came out of a bar. Anyway, bad guy grabs the wife and does what you're talking about. He's holding the wife, and he's got a knife to the wife's neck or something, and he wants their money. He wants to get their money, their phones, whatever, and then he's going to let her go and head the other way. But dude, man, husband's a concealed carry. So he pulls out his little what's an LCP, Kyle? What is the caliber?
Ruger.
32?
Oh, 380.
Thank you. It is, yeah. So he pulls out his little 380 LCP, and he's like, "Let go of the wife, or I'll shoot you." And the wife is like, "No, don't do this." And he's like, "I got this, baby." And he shoots his wife in the fucking shoulder.
Oh shit!
Can I just say, the Ruger LCP is such a piece of shit. Like, I'd have hit her in the face.
I have one too. There's no telling what I'd hit.
I'll never forget. Like I've told this story before.
He's never
like,
gonna hear the end of it.
I bought that. I bought that.
You
fucking.
shot me, you cunt.
I bought that LCP.
Part of the story. At the concealed carry, apparently she never let him hear the end of it.
I fucking shot her. I bet that he should have went. You see that? Just imagine what I'm going to do to you if you don't let my wife go.
I think in class he used this
That was just
example.
for
He's like,
fun.
"Honey, there's dirty dishes everywhere." She's like, "Well, you shot me." It's her go-to trump card.
But yeah, I'd be like, "Want another one?" He like just twirling
yeah?
the pistol in there.
Just twirling a pistol, safety off, rounds.
Police activity. Dude, oh, here's another one I saw. This is fucking wild. So 2 cops pull over a truck. There's 2 guys in the truck. One cop stays back in the car. The other cop is at the passenger side interviewing these fellas with a flashlight. It's nighttime. And all of a sudden the passenger starts getting kind of uncooperative. He rolls the window up. He's like, "I don't want to answer any more questions." He's like, "Well, actually, I need you to step out of the vehicle. And if they tell you to do that, you got to get out of the vehicle." Mm-hmm. He's like, "Nope." And the driver says, "I'm removing myself from y'all's little argument here." He gets out of the truck, puts his hands up, and goes back to the other officer. He's like, at first, like, whoa. But the guy is like clearly just like, he sits down, looks at the ground, and he is like not wanting to be part of anything. Like he removes himself. Meanwhile,
smart guy,
passenger of the truck is getting into the driver's seat now. And the cop opens the door and he's getting into the passenger seat. He's like, "Don't you do this. Don't you do it." Dude takes off with the cop. They're both together now in the truck. And the cop is screaming, "Stop! Stop! I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you." He goes, "Shoot me, motherfucker." He fucking shifts gears. He goes, "Shoot me, motherfucker." And the cop goes, "Stop! Stop!" He goes, and then the cop starts saying, "Stop reaching." If a cop ever tells you anybody out there, cop ever tells you to stop reaching, you better go flat and be nice because he's getting ready to murder you.
He's getting ready to kill you in cold blood, and he'll get a paid vacation.
Like,
He's got a body
he's
cam.
reaching for a gun.
Look, he's making sure his ass is covered because a psychopath who clearly is suicidal is driving him into the night.
It's like a stop resisting area. Okay.
This guy needs to die. And so the cop goes, pop, 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 kills the guy. The fucking truck rolls to a stop, and he gets out like, "What the fuck just happened?" And his partner's like, the partner was on the radio at the beginning of it, and he was like, he comes over the dispatcher, whatever. He's just like, "Yeah, like, 743, my truck heading eastbound down 270. My partner's in there with him." They're like, come on back again, number 2. Yeah, that's right. My partner's in the car with him. He's taking my partner eastbound on 270. Happy that eastbound on 270. It's just like they can't believe what's happened. Then I saw. I'll just do one more of these. I saw one where they.
You love these brutal videos
because it's like the highest level of drama to me because people are dying at the ends of these videos.
It's true.
They try to like serve a warrant on a guy, and he's got a fucking machine gun, and he starts shooting a machine gun from the inside of a Dallas or a Houston home, and he kills 2 cops before he's done, before they gun him down. It was fucking wild.
Where was he in the home? Or better yet, was he in a bathtub by chance?
No, he's just like in the, like it's dark in there. They hadn't made entry yet. They were still at the front door. It's fucking wild.
Kyle, this is something you might know, oddly. Do you think a bathtub is bulletproof?
What kind?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Flar.
Brandon, you're breathing in your mic just a wee bit.
You don't like it? I was doing it for you.
I hate it so fucking much.
Damn, bro.
I watched a TV show, Euphoria. I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
And without spoiling too much, there's a scene where there's a shootout and one of the characters gets in a bathtub. And I was like, I wonder if that works. Does that...
Was it one of those old-timey bathtubs that has legs?
It wasn't. I think it was the one that's kind of built into the wall and seems to connect to all 3 walls.
Yeah.
Might be fiberglass.
If that shit's fiberglass, then like that ain't stopping anything.
Not even a ricochet, like a, obviously if you shoot straight at something, it penetrates better than if you shoot at an angle.
I mean, it's just fiberglass. I think of that as like non-existent.
Okay.
I mean, 22s would just shoot all the way through it and kill the person. The tile on the outside is going to be the thing that really like
2 layers, right? Like it kind of like the fiberglass is molded to sort of come up and down the other side.
I'll say this: I have no faith in the bullet protectivity of a fiberglass bathtub.
Okay, but a cast iron you'd be on board with.
Yeah, you're gonna need something real to ding through that thing and hurt somebody. That would save you from like explosions, gunshots, fucking twisters, anything. It's that might be a smart appliance to have in the 21st century, believe it or not. One of those freestanding cast iron tubs with a leg on it. If you could get a hatch on that thing.
One.
Look at this. Woody is
thinking ahead.
Did you buy it because of the show?
No. We're redoing our master bath, and in these COVID times, it's really difficult to arrange all the supplies to arrive. In the old days, you'd just be like, 2 or 3 weeks before the construction crew comes, you get your bathtub, your tiles, your this, your that. Now, we have been collecting materials for months now, and we won't be done till like summer before anyone starts working.
Yeah, it is insane. PCP, and maybe it's because all my experience with PCP comes from internet videos. I always thought that was one you didn't need help identifying. Like that's the kind of thing, like that woman with her guts hanging out who's still like powder screaming like a feral animal.
I'm talking about if you've got
he's identifying it if it's in your backpack.
Yeah, they're like you've got like a baggie of it or something like that.
Yeah, I was meaning like if someone's on PCP, they might be able to be like, that person's on PCP.
Dude, I saw a scare. I'm going back to the police videos, but fuck me.
You just love these police videos.
Listen, all right.
Kyle loves police.
It looks like a well-to-do neighborhood, like real fancy. Like there's a gate and everything. Nest camera. This black man walks up, and he's like very white, bug-eyed is how I would describe him. He is bug-eyed. His eyes are so big and white, and he like picks up a paving stone like out in the yard, and he like looks at it and like gets a little grass off of it, and he walks up to the door, and he's just like dunk, 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 and he's just like waiting with a rock. Waiting, and then they do that thing from Paranormal Activity where they fast forward the footage, and you get that really unnatural thing where the person
it's like swaying,
like sways, and it goes on for like 5 minutes or something, 10 minutes maybe, and then they edit these things so well. The 911 call begins. Yeah, there's a guy over here on 38 Maple out in my yard, and he knocked, and then he sat out there and he picked up a rock and. Then he jimmied my door a little and he couldn't get in, so he left. And well, what does he look like? He's black. All right, we're on the way. So like immediately you see the cops are there like so fucking fast. They probably edited it together, but it's almost comedic. But fucking super cop gets there and he hops out and he's like, "Hey, you okay, sir? What's going on?" And the guy is like a zombie. He comes at him with the same rock. He's still got it. and like clobbers the cop with the rock, and now they're on the ground fighting for
the cop
like,
got into
life.
rock range.
He got into rock range. He
what an idiot.
And so now the cops like semi-stoned on the ground, and they're tussling. But the cops got a gun, so he like that and just killed the shit out of him. But there's a moment they use it for the thumbnail in the video. So if anybody wants to like find this video, I'm not going to tell you the name of it. Scroll until you see the eyes. Those eyes, like when you see it's the thumbnails from his body cam, and it's just really dark, and then a very dark skinned black man, and then these saucer eyes with big pupils. I don't know what the fuck he's on, but when you mentioned PCP, that's what made me think of this, because he's deranged. Something. He's deranged. He's out like looking to do violence.
Did he go down like when he was shot, or was it like he took?
They're on the ground.
The amount of
fighting.
bullets is like a pit bull,
dude. They usually open up. What I've noticed, and here's a disparity I have noticed: they will shoot a white woman once. Okay, you know what I mean? You ever see like when cops have to shoot somebody, they all go and like dump their magazine. Like I think part of that is so. It's like when Tony Soprano killed that kid in the park, and he like looked at his buddy like, now you do it. So we're both in on this. It doesn't matter who shot the first bullet. We did this, and it's kind of like that.
The whole gang's involved. You can't get rid of all of us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just lost my train of thought. What was it? Where was I going? Like 3 seconds?
It was a cop story, and they shoot white women once, and this bad guy was there.
Yes,
and came very quickly.
Yeah. So when it's black guys, they like all dump their magazines. But I've noticed that like when it's a white person, sometimes they'll give them a little one tap, and they'll like give them a chance to live. Like, and if the white person drops, you're like, all right, let's get him some medical help. Let's patch him up. But I've saw so many like black guys just get the dump your magazine like treatment, and I'm sure it varies cop by cop as well.
Yeah, and it depends if the person has a weapon or not.
And look, almost 99% of the scenarios I'm describing that I saw on that police activity thing, I'd have dumped the magazine too. Those guys needed killing as fast as you kill them, because they're in the process of killing people. One guy was literally stabbing his mother like this as fast as he could when the cops come in the room. And they're just trying to kill him as fast as they can without hitting her.
But she's already dead.
She's fine. A little bloody.
He's a terrible stabber.
She's like fighting him off, and he's like in a bad position. But
Jesus Christ,
a lot of those videos aren't edited, like blurred or anything. So like you see like all sorts of nonsense. It's very bloody and very gory. I saw a lot of people die today.
I don't want to watch people die. That's a downer.
Well, then don't watch police activity videos, because like
I do not. I watch a video by Covert Go Blue teaching me how to make new magic decks. That's uplifting.
Like out of the blue, the sort of stuff that they'll post. It's like, this is a missing ill person. No, that's cool shit, man.
No, that's normal. Right.
All right. Like they come with 2 warnings. You have to click I understand at one point. Like if you're nobody's accidentally watching cop shootings. And those are fucking entertaining. Those are crazy. Like,
do you find mostly the cops are right?
Yeah, mostly the cop. I would say not just mostly, but almost always the cops are legally right. I would say a good bit of the time, I feel like they just shoot too much. Like it's kind of already over, and either you're panic shooting or you're murder shooting now, because that person's in the fetal position. And you've already shot them like 12 times.
Yeah. So when you say murder too much, you don't mean the first trigger, like they shoot in situations that don't call for it. You mean they use
a good shoot. They
17 shots. Yeah.
Okay. Mag dump.
And you can, and when you see one done what I'll call quote unquote the right way, when you see someone shoot a guy once and the guy drops down to the ground and is like, all right, holy fuck, bullets hurt. It's like, holy shit, I wish they were all like that. But instead, what you see is big sprays of gun. Murder, I saw one the other day, and like, I don't think you can even blame the guy for this. Basically, the scenario is 2 cops come in the front door with long guns, I believe. Maybe one of them's got a long gun and the other's got his pistol out. And bad guy comes out of the back room with a rifle and starts shooting them. And one of the cop who gets shot is on the ground, shot and bleeding. You can't even tell how badly. The bad guy's down and unconscious, but the cop is still going bang, bang, bang. And
slow like that?
Yeah. He's like making sure he kills this dude who may have just killed him. Like 100%. That's what's going on. But I mean, shit, he's just got shot when he walked in a front door. I don't want that guy getting back up either. You know, if there's any chance at all he's going to get back up and start using that rifle again, like you could definitely understand that.
The cop live?
I don't know. So you don't get the end of the stories on police activity. You just get like fire and brimstone, and then the Patreon sponsorship rolls, and it's like over.
Is it so new you can't Google it?
I usually don't Google unless it's a cop doing something really bad, and I'm like, man, I hope they got that cop. Or if it's it was the one I sent in the WhatsApp today, and it was, I think this guy was violating his probation or something, some minor petty shit in the long run. Black guy on a bicycle running from a cop car and like cutting corners through a neighborhood, you know, doing the best he can on his bicycle. Cop tries to swipe him out a couple times, but gently enough that it fails. The kid, his man, drives the bicycle into a small pond and starts swimming away. And then he remembers he can't swim. So he drowns to death right there while the cops watch. The cops like, grab the rope. Come on, dude. Swim toward me. What are you doing? Grab the rope. And then the cops like, you can't really. The cops like, well, he's underwater now. It's just like, that's it.
Honestly, like if it was a regular situation, I'd 1,000% jumped in and pulled the guy out. But this is a guy, like if you're a cop and it's dangerous. That is a real
gear
risk.
On too.
Yeah, and he has the gear on, like you said, and if he drops the gear, well, now he's defenseless. That might not work out.
I thought about this too. I'm not a good swimmer like you, so there's no way in hell I'm jumping in there for anything other than like a little kid. Like if it's an adult who's capable of drowning me, then we're both going to drown. I just know if I tried to save that guy out there, he'd probably like grab me and try to climb me to get to like the surface and kill us both.
That's what I do.
I love that shit. I love that. I used to be a lifeguard in the ocean. I don't know if you knew. And I had lots of people try to like pull me down to save themselves. And it was just like, sweet. Like this is a cool one. And the trick is you just go down. You go underwater and you become less attractive. But it's like, we're going to teach a lesson. You're going to learn a little thing about, I don't know, being polite to the people trying to save you.
I watch a lot of this cop videos. Shout out to all of you who I'm sure watched Police Activity and loved it last week. You're welcome. Keep watching it. It's great stuff. Every day, new content, folks getting gunned down and stuff. And what I've noticed, because I've watched so much of those people getting gunned down, is that bullets don't always work unless you hit like the brain or the spine. Like you can shoot someone in the heart and they'll come over across the room and stab you to death. Like it doesn't matter because they don't need a heart to take one more step and stab you 3 times. Because that happens in less than a second. It's a quarter of a second. One step, stab, stab, stab. You didn't need a heart to do that. And I've seen them do it. I watched a guy come up an entire flight of basement stairs at a cop shooting him with a pistol as fast as he could. He got to the top of the stairs, hit the cop with a bat. I don't know if the cop lived or not, but the cop was fully unconscious and they were laying on top of each other on the floor. But I've seen people get shot with pepper spray and they change their fucking mind about what's going to happen tonight. Like it's I mean, I've been hit by it too. And I know it's like, there's that moment, you grab something hot and it doesn't immediately, you don't feel it immediately. You're like, oh, I've grabbed something hot. That's what you feel. You feel that there's that like quarter second delay. That's how long you have until you're done doing whatever you were doing before. It's over.
And to preface it, there's a difference between like pepper spray and like the real shit that fucks you up.
Yeah, you want pepper spray with
bear gel.
It's
whatever.
All right, that bear shit is a whole nother level.
It gets on your face and it's just like frothing in your eyes and everything like that. Shit
I think they make like a foam or a gel for bears, like he's describing, and obviously like the volume and the pressure that it's putting out is substantially bigger. The Saber Red that I've used and that I tell girls to buy and that I've been sprayed with is like a squirt gun. It's what your daughter that we recommended with the practicing thing. And all that stuff. I have like 3 or 4 of those practice pepper spray things. Anytime like I meet a new girl, I'm like, hey, do you even know what that pepper spray does? You ever sprayed it? And they're like, no. I'm like, try to spray that picture frame with this. And they always miss. And it's like, what if he was a killer? And they're like, I'm like, why are you crying?
All right, now we're going to try it for real.
Yeah. This time for real.
But she did that. I kind of want to repeat that for the listeners. That when Hope was first going off to college, I was like, how does she, Kyle, do you have any expertise in like self-defense type stuff? And he
suggested a pepper spray and had her buy a practice pepper spray that she could try. And anyway, that's what you do.
So it just shoots water. It's like a water gun.
It's the exact same mechanism and pressure and everything. It's sold from the company. I've always used Saber Red stuff. I'm almost sure they make a big bear thing too. I used it because I heard it's what prisons used back before I went to prison. And to me, that was industrial grade, like you ever buy a cleaner, like you want to degrease something, and
there's a bunch of warnings on it.
You're like, I do not want anything.
Like, what do they use in prison to clean the shit and blood off the walls of the cells?
I want that pink stuff. I want that pink stuff that homie was rubbing on the floor over there. It got everything out, whatever that is. I want warnings, labels, and stuff.
Have you guys ever gone to that Instagram page? It's like Crime Scene Cleaner Inc. or something.
No, that sounds gross.
No,
yeah, it's like gross. It's an Instagram. The guy runs a CSI or a crime scene cleaner business. And I don't know how he gets around it, but you follow his page and he's just like, yeah, so this person fell 48 stories and cracked on the pavement. And he just shows the before of like a complete ketchup packeted person. They've just been squished. And then he shows like the after, which is a beautiful, pristine sidewalk, no blood stains anywhere. And they're incredible. There's some where it's like person died in a bathtub and they found him 48 weeks later, and he's like, it's a picture of the bathtub and everything, and then next picture is it looks like a brand new bathroom. He's cleaned it.
In this modern day world where so many are struggling with the wage gap and unemployment and such, crime scene cleanup seems like an area where a hardworking entrepreneur could slide under and underbid everyone and get himself knee deep in viscera and really make a career out of it, right? Like if you would,
he has his cleaners, dude. You could do this, but his cleaning like formula, he says he makes his own shit.
Oh,
he's like an alchemist. He's over there like making his own Windex and stuff.
Shit,
and he refuses to say because
proprietary blend.
Yeah. Because not only does it clean up all the blood and shit so you can't visually see it, but he says if you were to do the swab, like they say if you clean blood with bleach, they do the swab and they go, there's blood there, but the DNA is damaged. Like they can't do a DNA match, but they can say there was blood here.
Or bodily fluid in general.
Yeah.
What you do?
This guy, his shit cleans it. It's like some enzyme cleaner. It cleans it to the point where they can't even tell that there's blood. So you got to murder someone and then hire him to clean up the scene and say that the cops have already been there. Or
That's probably his business model. He's just keeping it. Because I found a couple accounts on Instagram. By the way. I don't use Instagram, but I thought you couldn't show like extreme graphic blood and gore stuff. One of the pictures he had on there, or if this is the same guy or a different guy, was like clearly where someone was probably stabbed to death in bed. And there's so much weight of viscera and blood and gore, and that like the side of the bed is like there's still like an eighth of a person there, like that much viscera, and it's just a picture of that. This guy did not have any after photo. He's just stoked to be sharing his line of work, apparently. But it is, and there's other ones where it's like shit everywhere.
Of that other guys. That's really how much of a fucking business model if you just show the before picture. I want a fucking after.
Do you think they get paid by the hour?
No, they get paid by the difficulty of work.
By the job.
I would charge. I would charge like $350 an hour, and I think that would just cut it, right? Like oh my god, that's what it would cost, right? They like throw a number out.
You're gonna have to be a ton.
You're gonna be crime scene cleanup man.
I'm 60 minutes in, wading through the brain matter and shattered bone, and I'm not going to be like, wow, that was worth $350 fucking dollars. No, I want more than that. No way.
No, I think that's what the man on the ground should get paid, but it's not what he gets paid, is it? I think that's what I would need to get paid to be the man on the ground. I'd do it for $350 an hour. Oh, fuck me in the ass.
Oh no.
15 an hour?
50. That's the average.
Dude, that's what they pay at Kroger.
I know.
Go work at
crime
Kroger.
Scene cleaner.
Go to Kroger.
$15
Dude,
an
he
hour.
quoted Postman make 18 to 34 an hour.
Yeah, they don't even have to clean up a single dead body unless it's after hours and they're doing their own thing.
There's gas people out. There's gas stations near me that say like starting at 14. It's like, go do that.
I would rather clean up dead bodies than work at a gas station. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, this is a quick trip. Those are the nice gas stations.
Oh,
this
is
isn't some
Is that like the Flying J of wherever the hell you are?
No,
yeah.
QT is really fancy. Did you guys see the police shooting where those Arizona police officers gunned down that wheelchair-bound shoplifter?
What? No, I haven't seen this video.
What happened?
I have the video, but it is far too brutal to show.
Put it, link it so I can see it.
I will, but and maybe I could describe what I've seen it a few times, and in case I missed something or don't understand something, it looks like these officers respond to a call that this person has been shoplifting. They're in one of those motorized wheelchairs. Links incoming, and I don't know. The person just kind of tries to wheel away from the officers, and then the cop shoots the person maybe 10, 12 times in the back, and then they die.
Did you mean to
so far it
timestamp
sounds
it?
justified.
Is where it's timestamped.
Oh, you didn't say it was an electric mobility.
Holy shit! What the fuck are they doing to this guy? They just tased this.
Joke about this.
They're going to kill this man.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything.
Fuck cops, man. Oh, this is an even better one. They tased this poor crippled man near the entrance of a Home Depot garden center. It looks like he falls out of the chair, still convulsing.
Where are you seeing tasers? These are gunshots.
Are they blasting?
Oh, I have it on mute. I thought.
Oh, you poor man! Those are gunshots. He's dead.
Oh my god!
They murdered him.
Holy you can see him breathing.
Shot this guy in his wheelchair.
Poor Taylor. I thought you saw a different vid. I was like, Taylor's watching a much kinder video.
I thought they tased him and he fell out. No, they fucking murdered this guy. He's bleeding out. You can see it like 150, 145. Him like breathing his last breaths. I hope they all spend the rest of their lives in prison. Fuck cops.
Really? Like
look like only one shot.
Oftentimes when you see a shooting, there is like an 80-20 responsibility. Like, all right, this guy was 80% wrong, but this guy was 20% wrong. You know, he didn't comply as much as he could have. He didn't do this, or even there was one I thought was 100% cop mistake. But here, they told a guy to get his license. He jumps back in his truck like enthusiastically, energetically to get his license, and they murdered him. You know what he was getting in his truck? His license. That's it. There was no gun there. They didn't see a gun. There was no gun. They just didn't like the pace at which he sort of went to retrieve his license and shot him. 90% of me is like, clearly bad shooting. Clearly bad. They didn't see a gun. Another part of me is like, you know, I bet they wish they could do that one over. These guys, this was a slowly unfolding situation.
I think only one shot.
Okay.
I think the officer who was like on camera and like I don't know how many shots he fired, I didn't count, but he goes bump 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 bump, and like that pause between the last shot is
no witnesses.
Insane.
You can't have a witness just in case the first 5 shots.
That's all on camera from 2 different fucking angles. Jesus Christ!
This is absurd. This is the most absurd fucking. I mean, if he was black, it would have made national news. But it's just some.
I was thinking that too. I bet if he was black, that people would see it more racially.
Shit, they'd have parades.
Yeah, but this is such a clearly bad shooting. It is to me parallel to like the ISIS beheadings.
What would the floats look like?
The ISIS beheadings. There was no 2 sides of that story. This same thing.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, they certainly wouldn't. They would have a protest, not a parade. they wouldn't have a float of a guy in a wheelchair.
Welcome to the George Floyd anniversary parade.
And just following the Snoopy float, we have the crippled man who was shot at the Home Depot Garden Center entrance. Isn't that wonderful? When we were like 8 or 9, you had to dress up as something, and I believe because I had a cop costume, I just wore that. Because I had no desire, even at the time, to ever be a police officer. But
really?
Yeah, no, I never wanted to do that.
I think right now, like obviously I can't because I'm a felon and everything, but like if there was like what I want to be is like a part-time policeman. Like I don't want to do all that work. All right, I want to come in for 3 hours a day.
Dude, anyone can be a vigilante.
No, I need the car and the belt and the uniform. That's gonna give me my authority.
You be a fireman?
Yeah, they don't. I want to fight fire. I want to go to the people who start the fires, Woody. I want to go right to the source. Okay, give me 3 solid hours a day cruising the streets. I can make a difference.
You should just join a gang, and then you could make citizens arrests on your free time if you wanted to, and kill
You
ops.
need that badge. You need that thin blue line between you and reality that allows you to do whatever you want.
This is the badge right here, the Crip.
I watch like an
Don't think they'd
hour
let
of
us
police
in.
activity a day, and it's like
Why?
they can do whatever they want.
We're
You
not
know,
cool
they can
enough.
drive fast, they can shoot. There'll be like civilian cars right behind the bad guy who's clearly trying to get away. Blah, 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 blah. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. It's wild.
If I was gonna begin a life of crime, I feel like arson would be a good one.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah, you get to
You
you
don't
get to
know
watch
what you might be
fires.
doing.
Look at my power.
What's in it for you?
I'm a good arsonist.
No, no. Don't you wanna
What do you
I only
burn
burn
down?
down prisons.
They can't get out.
Yeah, that's murder.
Yeah, I'm solving problems.
burning pedophiles' houses down.
Yeah, no,
Taylor will
I
do
would
anything
burn
for his
someone's
next
house
fix
down.
of meat.
Yeah, they
including
would.
burning humans in a prison.
Yeah, they'd
There's all sorts
go
of
on the
innocents
news
in
and
the
it'd be the
prison.
masked arsonist, and the public would be like, "I don't care what they say, he's a hero."
Taylor, it could be like To Catch a Predator, but you just bolt all the pedophiles in your neighborhood's doors shut and
Yeah.
then burn their house down.
Just burning people alive for
Caught him.
peeing in public when they were 19. Like, you shouldn't have done that in that college town, you sex
Having
offender.
sex with a 12-year-old when he was 12.
Yeah, I just get all the. That's a good one though. Yeah, arsonist
Mentally,
who
anyway.
only targets pedophiles.
Yeah, the
Not an
benevolent
effective way
arsonist.
to target pedophiles.
No, I think you want to steer clear of the arson. That's just when I hear arson, I think bad things.
You don't think like
What
you'd
do
at
you
least
think?
get to be like, wow, look at all that fire I made.
You need to be a jewel thief. I don't know how to steal jewels.
Look at me,
Look at
I
this
did this.
Look how it consumes everything it touches.
Yeah. There's like every photo all around the St. Louis area. It's just me, just standing watching everything on fire.
Really happy about it.
Yeah,
No,
just stoked.
I
Got a
don't want
flag.
to start any fires, but I genuinely like being a policeman for like again maybe 3 hours a day. Ah, that would be fun.
Not morning hours either. No, we got to sleep after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking evenings. I'm thinking evenings, the night shift, so it's harder to see, what's going on. I definitely want a dog too. I want to be a canine officer, and I'm going to use him a lot. He's going to be he's not in the back. He's in the front seat with me. He gets out with me for the traffic stops. He's up on your car like
sniff.
Make a fucking move. Make a fucking move. Officer Canine's coming right in your window, right? I don't need him back there. He can't operate. And
Do you
I'm
have a little
giving
less
him
respect though for the dog cops because you're like, this guy can't even handle his shit without a German Shepherd?
I got my partner everywhere I go. I love that when people in the car are like, look how many y'all it takes. Look, y'all pussies. Look how many y'all it takes to whoop my ass. It's like, yeah, this exact number is really good at whooping your ass. And I love that. They grind him in the asphalt, put their knee on the back of his head. It's good shit.
One
But I
German
like when the
Shepherd
dog
fuck
gets
you up.
involved. I saw one recently. It's a lady cop, and she gets all frazzled right away. And she's got two people to deal with. And the white guy's drunk, and he's just like, fuck off, bitch. And like starts walking away from her. She like shoots her taser at him twice, pepper sprays him, and he's just like, fuck you. Walks away from his truck, just walks away. And so she locks up his buddy who's still in the car, who's terrified. He's done nothing, locks him in the back of her car and leaves him there. And her and her dog go after this white guy who's just like, fuck off. Her and the dog track him for like a mile. The dog is so poorly trained that it's playing with the guy. He's just standing there. She ends up shooting him. In the leg or something. They have this big fight. She's all out of breath. She's like, she can't help the fight. And these two dudes are wrestling with him. And she's got her real gun, waving it everywhere. Just everywhere. She's like, I don't want to shoot you. And I'm like, she wants to shoot him so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually she just plugs him in the leg for the fuck of it. She has to take her belt off, put it on the ground, and like lay on the ground while her dog runs everywhere and barks because she's so out of breath from walking through the woods. It was
she fat
pathetic.
and a woman?
It's her camera, so you don't even know. It's a woman is all you know.
No, she was huffing and puffing.
And the dogs suck. Those dogs are like tens of thousands of dollars, I think, like 10, 20 grand for one of those canine dogs. It's like a real deal canine. And he was just like playing with the guy. Like he didn't know what to do. He didn't know who the bad guy was.
And I don't buy that she didn't want to shoot him.
Oh no, she definitely wanted.
I imagine a big part of becoming a cop is like, I kind of want to shoot somebody.
Yeah. I think you got to be down for that. I saw one the other day where the bad guy pulls a gun on the cop, and the cop bitches out and runs away, and he's like, "Please don't shoot me! Please don't shoot me!" And the guy's like, "Give me your gun! Give me your gun, police man! Give me your fucking gun, copper!" And the cop's like, "No, you can't have my gun! Leave me alone!" And he's like running away with like crybaby voice and like radioing for help and shit. It was pathetic. It was rough.
Yeah, you can't do that as a cop. You got to go down. You got to go down guns blazing.
Yeah, you got to spray that fucker down. I was like, what's happening right now? Why is he running? Why is he running from a man?
Did you see what he looked like? No.
Yeah, white man. I don't know. I saw one where the guy like gets overwhelmed by some random dude, and the dude grabs the cop by the leg and starts dragging him across the ground behind him like a cave. You know, like a caveman would carry a cave woman. Like he's dragging the cop like that. The other cop comes. He's like, "What the fuck's going on here?" Bang, 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 bang. Great. I love those police activity videos.
Did you see that white guy that killed the people that were blocking traffic?
Yeah,
in some country?
77-year-old dude. Was that?
They fucking edited out the part right before he shot, though. What I want to see what happened right before he pulled the trigger. That's bullshit. When you show me 10 minutes of horse shit and then it cuts and there's a guy laying on the ground and like, look at the bad white man. He killed that poor person. What'd you cut? What did you cut? Fuck that. Smoke those guys. He got house arrest for that.
Really?
Did he really?
What the comments
So
say.
he even got to go home faster.
I hope
Like
so.
that.
That's fucking awesome, dude. If
He
you
got
block
house arrest
traffic
so far, it happened like 2 days ago.
God, man.
Yeah, blocking traffic is not cool. Very shitty. Unbelievably selfish and narcissistic. The clip I saw of that guy who did the shooting, like I only saw it briefly, but it looked like it was the most casual, like, I got to get home for the game. Like he just blasted this guy. And it was, I don't know. I think that's enough for maybe cool guy of the week. But
that guy fucking rocks, dude.
I think anyone who stands in there should be laws. Like that's the next Florida law. Like someone should get DeSantis on this because he's all about this kind of shit. If you're blocking like a major thoroughway or whatever, however they want to define it, like don't have to slow down at all. You know, cars belong in the road. If someone's blocking the road, you can assume that they are trying to end your life and proceed as you may. Which, in other words, run them the fuck over. I love when they run them over. I like when they don't even start to slow down. I like when they slow down,
you seem speed up.
Cars are kind of made for scooping people up and like rolling them off. It seems like maybe they even designed that into them because it's safer. But if you roll over some cocksucker, then they just get like rolled around over and over like a ball of dough up under the modern workings of a vehicle, like drive shafts, and it's all hot and dusty and sharp under there. They always come out like that guy at the end of RoboCop who falls in the acid, like all
Now someone's got a bigger problem than fucking CO2 now, don't they? You just got real.
Yeah, turns out those fossil fuels really are a killer, huh?
Yeah, you really don't care that much about those turtles now that shit just got.
And I remember doing the BLM stuff when they would just like walk out on an interstate highway in a curve, and there's that one clip of a car who's definitely speeding and probably drunk. But I mean, you know, it's late night. We're driving. We're having a good time. Whatever. But he hits these two women going like, I don't know, Mach 3, so fast, and just slings her body so far, like it like a ping pong ball. She bounced. It was wild.
Yeah.
Anybody in a road, I got no. I got no care for
road.
It all. Like, no
it's for cars. You don't belong on the road.
Yeah. At risk of sounding a little bit insensitive, they deserve it. You know, they're even asking for it.
I believe that. Yes, I believe they are asking for it. I mean, if you know, what were they wearing in the middle of the road? You know, I need to know that too. Was it reflective? You had
wearing a shirt
gear
that says
on?
"I dare you."
After a while, your palms heal up, but then you go crazy and you get really into amateur police videos and women fighting cars.
Yep, that happens.
I got to.
You know it.
Woody, you said women fighting cars. I got to clarify. Women, are we boxing, martial arts, or are they just getting
run? Parking lot battle. Typically, it starts with maybe two humans and then escalates to man v car.
Yes, it's my favorite genre of YouTube video.
Yeah, I was describing Kyle with that.
Yeah,
cars are undefeated.
No, I really
Yes.
enjoy. So what happens is you'll have some sassy black ladies in a parking lot, and they'll be getting rowdy, and sometimes you're just outmatched by your opponent. You know, it's remember that guy at the DNC earlier, that woman with that big ass chin. I mean, look, if you're like a Rihanna sized woman, can you imagine having a beef with that big bitch? It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, even as a man, like some men, I was in the gas station the other day, and this fellow in front of me who had to be like 5'2" or something. I was like, I could murder you right here with my bare hands. Like, he's barely another person.
That's what you went to, right?
That's
You didn't murder.
I feel like you're describing the public freakout subreddit.
I could beat you up and steal this nice Four Loko you're purchasing for yourself after your work days.
Those are illegal now. So those gals will go back to their vehicle and they'll start running motherfuckers over. And I
love these
really
videos.
Because the thing about those people, when they get mad, they think they can take a car sometimes. Or at least they think it'll be a tussle at first. So they'll be like, what are you going to do? You going to hit me? Hit me with the car. And it's like, they're like all of a sudden they're pinned between two cars and they're screaming, my hip, my hip.
Yep.
It's like, you asked for this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure you've seen
Buick.
you pull a gun and be like, what, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna shoot me. I dare you to shoot me. And you pow. You shot me. Why?
His final
Or they
words
just
were,
die.
"What are you gonna do? Shoot me?"
I genuinely saw that the other day. The person's got a gun and he's like, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you. What are you gonna do? Shoot me with your gun. Shoot me. Shoot me. Bang! Oh, this bitch shot me. She shot me.
I think I saw that same video. It was so good. I watched it like 4 times.
Yeah,
I can't imagine not trying to de-escalate a person with a gun or slink out in a cowardly manner. That's what I would do.
But
I'd
you've
be
probably
hiding.
got
They'd
really
be like, "Give me your wallet too," and I'd be like, "I'm not here for candy." And they'd be like, "Oh, he probably doesn't have money."
In my dreams, I get to leave with my like integrity intact. Like you know what? I don't have time for this. It's not your gun that scares me. I'm just a very busy person, so I'm leaving.
You guys do you know. But me, I'm getting out of here.
I fucking run. I saw a dude pull a goddamn Draco out of his backpack at a 7-Eleven the other day.
What's
It's
a
a mini
Draco?
AK,
Like a Mac
Thank
gun.
you.
It's a mini AK-47, and just start blasting at people. At like
Well, you saw this
kinda like
online, not
RoboCop.
in person.
No, I wish it's becoming more and more like RoboCop, the United States, and I'm here for it. All right, that's a good
Same.
fucking movie.
It's the dystopia we were promised as a childhood. In our childhood, that we could
promise a bunch of
ride
them.
around and just have casual gunfights and blow things up like RoboCop and The Crow.
I didn't like The Crow. I don't like rape in movies. It's a little upsetting. There you go. Yeah, you pull that bad boy out of your backpack.
That's a pistol, I guess.
It is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pistols are a spectrum.
It doesn't seem
I
like
saw-
a good gas station robbing gun. Too
I don't
bulky.
understand. I watched
You
so
don't
many of
think
those
30
videos
rounds?
and it's people, it's 30 and people making like stupid decisions. I saw one the other day. There's 2 guys in a car. The police have pulled them over. They're stopped. The passenger will not roll his window down, and they are talking to him, and they can see between his legs also a Draco. Like and they're like, do not reach for that gun. Do not. And they're like, 2 guys are aiming pistols at his skull right outside the window. I mean, like outside the window, like right there. You do not reach for that pistol, or I will kill you. He reached for it. He reached.
they killed him.
They killed the shit out of
Pretty
him.
much suicide.
They
That's
shot
the
him.
normal
The
thing.
driver gets out and is like, "Fuck!" like walking away, and like they shot the shit out of him because we're right here, bro. Like, what I always wonder, like, I guess I get if they're like just trying to suicide by cop, or they're like, "You won't take me alive," like that attitude. I could understand. I could get myself in that headspace even. But what I don't understand is like, did you think you're gonna like shoot your way out of this like Jason Bourne and then disappear into the countryside with
Maybe
your
they thought there's
European
a
ID?
1% chance.
If
There's
they already
not.
have you at gun, it's like do you remember as a kid the first time you played paintball? You have in your head this imagining of like, and I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna pop, shoot them before they can shoot me, because you've just seen movies and you're self-inserting as the main character who's gonna do all this. Like, it seems like an extension of that. This guy's like, I'm pretty quick to grab my gun. It's right here. These stupid pigs probably won't even.
I've seen John Wick 3 times. I got it.
I was gonna say nowadays the stars usually know some sort of gun fu, right? Like John Wick, and he just hits everything and reloads amazingly. Back in the day, it wasn't even that. They held a machine gun with endless bullets and just slowly went through the crowd and would get hundreds of kills while everybody else missed.
Commando.
And I thought, war, it's actually pretty easy.
Pretty sick too.
If you're like one of the main guys, where's the cinch?
I thought that's how it would go if I was in war. I'm 10 at this point. And I was like, if they got me that gun, I could win.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Do you remember like not having a conception of death at like a very, very young age? Where like the thought of you dying was so weird. It's like, wait, but everything else is going to keep. Like, I remember thinking, I was probably like 5. Like if I got my head run over by a truck, it's like everything just
that truck would be destroyed.
The truck would be destroyed. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's so crazy. I'm going to die someday.
I think you're describing the invention of religion. It's people that
Not all of
cannot
us are gonna
comprehend
die,
not existing.
Some of us will get taken up.
Some of you, no.
You could
not
get raptured.
you. The aliens are going to get you.
No, not aliens. I'm talking about the rapture.
Oh.
Yeah, but to be fair though, if the rapture happens, I'm pretty sure all of us will still be here to just do another PKA episode. I don't think that's going to affect
absolutely
anything.
not. I've asked God to forgive me for my sins after every one of these. I'm solid.
Yeah, it's like a little re-up. It's like yes, please,
dude. But before I pray,
impressions.
Always before I pray, I'd be like, "Hey, forgive me for all my sins. All right, now I need a few things."
It's gotta be God's whole inbox. It's like, sorry, I was bad, and then like a wish list for Santa. All these impossible things.
That's sorry. I've been really screwing the pooch on a lot of these rules, but I really need my friend to be able to make it to this Florida trip. And if you could clear up his schedule, I'd remember that next time I'm really in sin mode.
Pray for little things like that. I'd pray to win the lottery and shit like that as a kid.
I don't remember ever praying to win the lottery.
I was like, let me win the lottery. So I don't have to do anything.
You can't play the lottery as a child.
Yeah, but
your parents can.
No, my parents didn't play the lottery.
Yeah, I remember watching that Macaulay Culkin movie, Richie Rich or something, and then Blank Check, that other movie.
Yes, I've seen Blank Check.
And so I had this fantasy about like being a child with millions of dollars to just blow on orangutans and limousines and hot fudge sundaes.
And you'll get a 27-year-old girlfriend and
you have a butler. And you do all of this for $1 million. I
think
that was the thing. He got $1 million
from the least secure bank in America.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense, the premise of that movie. It was a child's movie where he bought an orangutan with $1 million of gangster cash, though. So I let it slide.
Honestly, that movie did give me a lot of like daydreaming fantasies too as a young kid, because I'm like, man, I would do the slide thing, but I wouldn't have wasted money on the car because I'm only like 9 anyway. I can't drive it. And I would have had a big party for all my friends. I would have bought I think like a skating rink is probably something I was into at the time.
Ooh.
Buying activities, buying paintball guns. Man, that would be great.
I used to go on paintball websites and just look. I just
same. I used to go to like, what was it called? There was 88 Paintball. Was one of the sites
88 Paintball.
A ton of guns and stuff.
They had a minigun on there. I remember being in high school, supposed to be doing work, and I'm on like paintball.com looking at this paintball minigun. And I'm like, oh god, that paintball minigun. What do you mean it's $1,200?
Yeah.
That's more money than I can imagine.
I remember being like 10 years old on those websites and being like, oh man, an Angel X344 is $1,100. That's awesome.
Yes,
but I have $0.
I have 11.
Save my
But I
allowance.
just get the 100.
I had
two
$2
dream
a week
guns.
allowance. If I can wait until I'm 17, maybe I can afford it if it's on sale.
If it's still at the top of the line and I still want it, I can get this.
There were 2 guns that I
car.
dreamt about that I wanted so bad. One was at Walmart, actually. When you go to Walmart, they had the gun section, and just to the left of all the real guns, they had the paintball guns, and they had a gun called a Rainmaker. Zach, can you find, probably made by Daisy or somebody, the Rainmaker paintball gun? Because as a little kid, that's what I wanted so bad. It's probably a piece of shit now. But then later, when I got the internet,
This thing looks cool as hell.
I wanted the Angel so bad. The Angel was, like you said, well over $1,000 when you kitted it out. And this was in the 90s or the early 2000s. This $1,000 paintball gun. So it was a lot of money.
The
It's still a lot
Brass
of money.
Eagle Rainmaker. I remember having like a couple
That's
of
it.
Brass Eagle pump guns.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I wanted this. See, the thing about this, fully automatic. Okay, this was an
really you could just hold down the trigger and hose.
This was an electronic, fully automatic paintball gun, and everything we had was pneumatic or whatever, where like you were actuating a solenoid or something with a trigger pull, and everything was air powered, and you had to actually manually pull the trigger. That thing was one of the first electronic guns, I would guess.
That thing looks stupid.
Yeah, now it does. But you got to imagine it was 2001 or no, it was like 1998 or something for this.
I mean, Independence Day had like just hit VHS when this thing was coming out. So like,
that movie's still good.
No, it's not.
It aged well.
I haven't seen it in so long.
But you're right that if this was fully automatic, that was a huge game changer. You would have been the only guy on the field that could just like do tricks and spray. You weren't fooling with your gas canisters.
It makes such a big difference.
Tap a lot.
You were, but also you didn't have automatic hoppers back then, and so you'd get like 5. Even if you had a fast shooting gun, you had to shuka constantly.
We played paintball once, and there were 5 people with good guns against like 75 people with bad guns on like a football field sort of thing with obstacles, and the 5 people beat the 75.
We fucked them up.
My dumbass thought we were pretty good at paintball. Yeah,
there were some kids.
Yeah, but they weren't like kids. Most of them were like older teens, maybe.
Were the opponents.
But the one that Eric yelled at was, look, him, he cried.
He'll never live that down.
I won't let him.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, there was some bad.
No, it was a good time. It was more narrow even than a football field. The way I remembered it was all netted in, and there were obstacle courses, and they couldn't flank us. And we had all the free paintballs that money didn't need to buy, and we had good guns, and they couldn't advance on us because we just had a never-ending like hail of gunfire into them. It was fun. We fucked them up.
That was fun.
It was fun on our side. What kills me now looking back is I actually thought it was because like, you know, me and my friends are pretty good. And then I used a Tipman, like a manual one they're talking about. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a disadvantage.
Oh, it's impossible. You can have someone dead to rights and it'll just go like just right over their head, right to the left.
Yeah,
equipment matters. To bring it back around, we were talking about World War II at the beginning. Like, you know, Japan invaded China. They industrialized a little faster, a little better. They had automatics, better weapons. China had like bolt action rifles and like wooden bullets, and they would send out 2 soldiers with 1 rifle, so if one dies, the other one can pick it up and stuff like that. That kind of equipment difference is massive.